Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is another installment of Us versus Movies. I am Kevin, and of course, I have Dustin with me.
Good evening, everyone. Or morning. I don't know when you listen to these things.
That's right, Dustin. No one knows. The movie we are talking about, this is for only the true elite. This is only if you're ready to hack the planet. It's Hackers.
It's Hackers! Yay! Every movie I've threatened you with, audience, has come true.
Believe it or not, I've never seen this movie because the internet.
Every movie Kevin hasn't seen and mentioned has come true as well.
Yeah, internet scares the shit out of me, so I figured the internet in 1995 it would make me piss my pants. That's when this movie was released. It's rated PG-13. It is a thriller crime. I've heard it labeled, I've read it, seen it labeled as a comedy. Didn't laugh one time.
Comedy, crime, drama.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's about $1.47.
A thriller. There's nothing, I don't know.
Whatever. It's thrilling. It has thrilling moments where I'm like, what the fuck? And yeah, I don't know.
It's genre defying in my opinion.
It is. It's basically back when no one knew what cyberspace was.
We did not have an understanding of the internet.
Internet was on an AOL disk, I think. That's how everyone got a hold of that.
Especially not kids. Raphael Morel, who wrote it, and he only wrote this and The Rage, Carrie 2.
Ooh, I think I saw that in the theater. I saw that one. That I did see, but I'm stupid for horror movies, so I probably would have just been like, okay, what is this?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely didn't understand the internet, nor did Ian Softly, who went on to direct K-Pax.
Whoa, not touching it. You know, going back to the director, I guess I gotta kind of throw it down. Yeah, I gotta kind of push back on that. I guess he was really into that whole ideology of like, you know, storytelling through the internet and like this revolution, real 1984 kind of vibe going on. And I guess he met with a bunch of tech savvy people. It kind of was just so impressed. Like there's a gag in the movie where they record the phone and the
change in the coin.
The coin. That's a real thing. That,
I knew that was a real thing.
A hacker guy told him that back in the day, and he was so kind of infatuated with that whole process that he kept just getting more into that world. Granted, having an affinity,
Sony.
Yeah, having an affinity for shit, and then like being a fan and just kind of admiring from afar, and then turn it into a narrative. That don't always work.
All right. Well, before you get too far on your soapbox, the movie stars Johnny Lee Miller, who
what's he up to?
Know from Train Spotting or that Elementary show or like a bunch of shit, basically. Angelina Jolie, Stuff. You know her from Stuff and things.
Wait, is this one of her first movies, right?
Yeah, this is probably one of her first big roles, honestly.
And not to be a weirdo, but she was gonna make it out of all these dopes in this movie. Like just looking at her, she doesn't even belong in this movie because of almost like the presence she has.
Yeah, but in 95 she did belong in this movie.
No, dude, sure, but just her presence, her look is incredible. And there's a scene in the movie where I'm like, man, I know why Dustin liked this movie. When he was a kid.
Boy, yes, yeah.
There was, I bet the pause button was fucking broken on this one. Somebody's Phoebe Caton right now.
Everyone knew what minute it happened at.
Everyone was just like, oh, my thumb. Ow, my wrists. Both. Ow, my feet. I used my feet like a monkey. Like, but I was just like, man. But because I look at everybody else, I was like, these guys are all goobers. This chick's gonna grow up to be. She's grown now, right? Anyone? I guess it's okay. It's in the past.
I mean, none of them were high schoolers when this movie.
No, dude. The main dude, they were like, "You got to go to high school." I was like, "College, Mom? You're gonna sign up for the colleges, Mom? He's 5 years into college."
They always like that place, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Sure, her. And then Jesse Bradford, which strange enough to our off-the-air conversation, Kevin, he was in Bring It On. He was the love interest in Bring It On.
So Bring It On.
Snaggletooth Kristen Dunst.
Turtle face Snaggletooth.
Turtle, whatever. Poor woman. Just leave her alone, okay?
Hollywood has. Boop, boop, boop.
She's made a somewhat return. They asked her to fix her teeth. She said, fuck you.
She said, fuck you, Snaggle for life.
And then Lawrence Mason, who, really didn't have any big... he's on Prison Break. He was on The Shield. I remember him on The Shield. He was pretty good on that. Nothing like major. And Matthew Lillard, of course. Scooby-Doo. He was not Scooby-Doo, but he was
he was.
Shaggy. And, he's done... He's still working. He's doing shit. And probably the only other big standout.
Character, though, right? He's that character for the whole time.
Yeah,
of his career, pretty much. That kind of weird, doofy guy.
Yeah, and mostly because of this movie. So, and then Fisher Stevens, Short Circuit, and Short Circuit 2. Those are the standouts for me.
That was the bad guy, right?
That was the bad guy. Yes.
Yeah, I remember. That's what he looked familiar.
The Plague.
I was like, what is this guy from? Like, why does he look so familiar?
Yeah. And probably Wendell Pierce, who was the Secret Service agent. He's most notably been in Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, the Amazon TV series recently. But he's been in a ton of other shit. He was in Casino Royale, or like the James Bonds, the new ones. So.
Don't forget about Penn Jillette.
Yeah. And Mark Anthony.
Yeah, I was like, what are you boners doing here?
Who the fuck knows? But let's get to that when we get to them in the movie, Kevin. Let's get to them in the movie.
Yeah, because the Mark Anthony, I was like, that guy's fucking weird looking. Have I seen him before?
I know. Even as a kid, I was like, why do I feel like I know this guy? And then when I saw Mark Anthony, like a music video for the first time ever, I was like,
that's the Hackers guy.
Guy from Hackers? And I was just like,
he's doing all right.
Couldn't be. And this is before the internet was still like readily available to answer these dumb questions. So it took years for me to be like, it fucking was Mark Anthony.
Wasn't he tapping J-Lo?
Why was he? Yeah, I mean, they were married for a spell.
Yeah, he's tapping it.
Not anymore. They broke up.
Oh, he tapped it though.
Yeah, she's dating A-Rod now.
Hey, man, he's still got in there.
So whatever.
Dude, whatever. Look at her body, dude. She's crazy hot.
I don't know. She's
like 50 something.
Yeah. Okay. Why are we talking about J-Lo so much? We're here to talk about Mark Anthony.
Rub a little dirt on the herp, it won't hurt. Says A-Rod.
It will. She'll be like, that burns a lot now.
I'd risk it.
Hackers, Kevin. I think the movie starts in 1988, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, it's like, hey man, back in the day, and it's 88 because Dad Murphy is 11.
It's Dade Murphy. There were several things that I know. So when I watched this movie a lot as a child, there was no subtitles. So the Plague, I never
closed captioning.
Yeah, closed captioning either. But I never heard them say the Plague. It always sounded like they were saying a foreign name, like the Plague or something. And I was just like, so he's French or something. I never understood that as his hacker name until this viewing of it. And I was like, oh, that's his hacker name? That's pretty sick. But
is it?
Because I will say the audio for this movie is a goddamn nightmare.
Dude, I had to
It is a nightmare. I was like, why is there so much ADR? Why?
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's where the Plague's girlfriend goes up an escalator.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, she ain't said one word since the camera started rolling. All of a sudden, she's talking.
That's her real voice. I think they ADR'd everything she said. It was like they forgot to mic her the entire movie.
Yeah, dude. I was like, what the fuck? She's not speaking on that escalator. What kind of job is this?
Or you'll lose all your toys.
Yeah, and I was like, is she talking about sex toys? Are they banging? They act like they were cool in the office, but they were really cool.
They're really cool.
And what office just works all the left side of the building? Everyone, I was like, dude, someone go in the elevator. There's too many people walking around here.
They're just New York.
It was like a.
I love how he just took I'll take care of this. She was like, wasn't even for either of you.
I'm a random dude. I work on the 12th floor for another company.
Yeah. Like, do we? I don't. Okay, I'm just gonna leave. It's just paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the movie opens in 1988, and we have, for whatever reason, and I will say it is random as fuck.
Dad Murphy.
Slow motion. No,
dude.
motion. Slow motion FBI raid. My favorite is the guy washing the fucking Firebird. And he's just like, whoa! He just starts spraying the hose everywhere. He's just like,
listen,
fucking Popo!
I laughed so hard. This FBI, they have no tactical training. No, they're not even appropriately
on their body.
Nothing's marked. They're not professional. They blitz.
Dog barking. It's not their dog.
No, dude. They blitz this yard. And I was like, they kicked the door and they're like, fucking cocksuckers. I'm surprised they just
the mom for just a second. And she's doing like the most beautiful, like middle class family meal ever. Like just a giant spatula, just flinging giant pancakes. I was like, what are you doing?
It was like a Betty Crocker commercial from the 80s. And this dude kicks the door in. He's like, nobody's like, there's no knock raid. They come in there. He's like, somebody docks my favorite jerk site. He kicks it in.
And it's 88. There's only one, you fucks.
Yeah, it's called jerkyourbeat.com.
for fucking internet every month to see that. It takes me 4 hours to load a picture.
It fucking sucks.
Usually I'm masturbating the eyebrows because of it. I come back 3 days later, and then maybe I get to fucking jerk off to her collarbone.
I just jerk off to the Sears catalog like a professional.
But I refuse to cancel that goddamn internet. I am an early adapter.
And whatever you do, guys, that's a stay away from the internet. That just sell it, don't buy. He's like, fuck that.
He's like, fuck that. I'm going to double down. I'm going to lose my pants in the bubble, but it'll come back. I mean, I will be broke by then.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so they storm this house, and they just go into this room, and they're like, Dade Murphy, blah, blah, blah. And you don't see who's arrested, because that's going to be revealed later.
Yeah, okay? So they swat this kid.
Yeah, they swat a kid, okay? That's what Kevin's jumping to. And then we go to the courtroom.
It's like Law and Order. There's more slow motion.
Everyone's in very 80s suits.
They're huge.
They're huge. Unlike everyone, even the people watching. No person showed up underdressed for court.
Dude, it was like the judge didn't even have his robe done. He was like airing out.
He was like, it's fucking Seattle. It's muggy as fuck. Okay.
He's like, I would, you know what? He doesn't get to drop the gavel on me. Fuck this.
So we go across. We're looking. It's like lawyer. Guess that's the dad because we didn't see him. Okay, there's the mom we somewhat recognize from flinging the pancake. And then, there's no one at this same level. We have to pan down.
God, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, it was so. I was like, oh,
so God, stupid, dude. There's so many camera shots in this movie that pissed me off. And when that started it, I was like, is this a comedy? I thought it was just going to be a waka moment.
It's a comedy. So, and then there's little Dade Murphy. And forgot his last name for a second. I was like, what is his last name? I always call him Zero Cool, so I don't know. Yeah, and the judge reads his shit, and he's just like, you fucking crashed 1,507 computers, including some on Wall Street. That was a big deal.
That's caused a 7-point drop in the stock exchange, you little fuck.
You fucking lost people money. I mean, sure, they were all coked up cokeheads dealing shit to old ladies, but fuck you.
I don't want you doctors and no jerk sites. I don't want you touching a cell phone. I don't want you fucking using a goddamn watch calculator, you fuck, until you turn 18, or I'll break your fucking hands.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's not. So he's like, you're not allowed to use a computer or internet until you're 18, and you're not allowed to use a touch tone phone.
Yeah, dude. I was like,
I'm pretty sure the touch tone phone is useless without the other two things.
No, dude. I thought he was a hacker extraordinaire. I was like,
that's what it wants you to believe, and that's what I thought as a kid. I was like, oh shit, what can I do with a phone? I was just like,
hello, looking at my
pizza. Phone, like, come on, what can I do with you? Reveal your answers. Internet, you're in there.
Show me titties.
Show me them goddamn titties, please.
I'm under 12. That's all I think about. Fuck.
Pretty much. Yeah. You're just like titty, 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 titty. And then you grow up and you're like ass, 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 ass. Yeah. It's a weird development.
And then you get old and you're like, kill myself, kill myself, kill myself.
Then you're just like, I'm just happy to be able to tug one out still.
Everyone's like, boo.
And then we're back to the slow motion.
Dude, they
put him in a car.
No, dude.
Whatever.
This slow motion, there's media everywhere. You would have thought he fucking shot Lennon. There was so many motherfuckers. I was like, he's a kid. You can't. There's no way.
Dude, I don't even know why so many people were there. It's like the trial of the century.
Dude, it was. I was like, is this Roe versus Wade? Like, what the fuck's going on? They put him in the car. I was like, well, he's a minor. You can't do this. Like, any of this.
In 88, you can.
Yeah, 88 was like.
Yet. This is the case.
Yeah.
That made it.
I was like,
Dade versus the U.S. government.
What Dad Murphy for fucking local terrorism? I was like, holy shit. And dude, everyone just picture snapping. I was just like, oh my God, is he gonna they're taking him to the gallows? This is fucking outlandish. They put him in the back seat and he's got his hand over his face. They were just like, oh my God. I was just like, oh Jesus, what's gonna happen to Dad Murphy? And then I look closer at the window and I see the fucking cameraman in the reflection.
We were like, did you see all those flashes snapping? We couldn't keep it out. Okay, I'm a first-time director, I think.
It pans down on the stairs. They put him in the back seat, and
that's why it's in slow motion, so you won't look at that.
They hold the shot, and then I see a dude with some wireframe glasses and a blue polo and a cigarette in his mouth, and he's standing real funny because he's kind of hold the camera. And I look closer.
Like, this fucking angle, you could totally see me.
Dude, this guy might have
been learning. He was like, I'm watching Citizen Kane while we film this. I'm doing the best I can. Mirror shots, not my thing. Okay.
I was looking. I was like, is that the AD? Is that the lighter? Because I got a problem with the lighting in this movie too. But who is that? He's leaning against the roof of the car. I'm like, you're in the shot, dude. And he's like, oh fuck. Yeah, and then they drove away.
You're supposed to care that much. You're supposed to be hearing that sweet song. Something like that.
Was that?
No, it wasn't anything like that. I wouldn't disrespect it by actually singing it.
Yeah, but I was like, all right, so this is a comedy.
And then we're on an airplane, and there's Johnny Lee Miller doing his best high school impression. He's got some gross headphones on. I was just like, ugh, so gross. And his mom talks to him, and they're in New York now.
I hate New York. Where are my friends?
And I will say, this is still to this day my favorite top-down shot of New York, which has been done a million times. But you see New York, and then it turns into like a circuit board, basically. And all the buildings are components, all the streets and cars are moving connections and everything. I still, even seeing it, it's probably the best shot in the entire fucking movie. I like it.
The transition between to
the city to the circuit board.
Oh, okay.
Still my favorite because I've seen that. Like you've seen the top down of New York, like overhead, a million times. You know, they love to put dramatic Chris Nolan music on it and be like, "Look at it, look at that fucking presence of that city." But the one where it turns into a circuit board, that's my favorite.
Just got some real estate in your heart.
Yeah. And then we go to Dade's new apartment. It's a shithole because it's New York.
Dude, yeah, they're living on it's just mom and dad.
Mom and dad? No, it's mom and
dad. Zero cool.
Yeah.
But no one calls it. It's just really left on the table, that name. They use it like a couple of times here and there.
Because he can't use it. It's a hot commodity. Okay?
I know, but I was really waiting for him.
Jump back onto the internet after you turn 18 and just
I
start being like, Zero
like
Cool's back, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what you do. You go, the legend's back, baby.
So because his mom yelled at him. Okay,
it's my overall arcing problem with this main character. I'll elaborate later when we talk about Crash Override. I was like, geek.
All right. Anyway, so the mom comes in through some weird exposition. She reveals she's like, happy 18th birthday. He's playing with like the weirdest laptop possibly ever. And she's just like, I'm off to bed. And he's just like, I'm off to hack the planet, and decides to take over a TV studio because they have some weird, somewhat relevant racism show going on. And he's just
real like political Rush Limbaugh, hot take type of fucking
like real public access bullshit,
infomercial looking bullshit. Yeah,
especially at that era in '95, they were very predominant after hour TV market. And we get this little blurb into how Dade sees the world, which is TV images, I guess, or something. I did not like this part, and I'm glad they kind of just forgot about it halfway through the movie.
Well, I kind of like, I thought that was kind of interesting for like a second, because I was like, we're going to see how this guy processes his information, right? So we're going to see him as this quote unquote genius, right? Just doing this massive hack with limited resources that caused all this chaos. And now he's matured into this. I was waiting to see this elite motherfucking hacker, dude, that's just gonna like hack his watch, hack his nuts, hack everything. Like he can't function unless
he's like, I'm gonna hack one out. I mean, he does have a computer addiction for sure, but
yeah. And I thought that's what we're gonna. And I was like, okay, so he's so pop culture like centric that's how he absorbs information. That's how he keeps his day going. And I was like, all right, that's kind of an interesting thing. I kind of dig this. And they just do it for like a minute, and then like the movie gives up on it. They get tired of it. They don't introduce anybody else like this. They don't.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit anymore. It doesn't really fit, and it stops fitting the more they use it. You're just like, stop that. So.
Yeah, I like I said, not ever seeing this movie and not having any preconceived anything. I was like, oh, okay, it's very centric to his character development. This is his personality coming out. This is how he learns, and everything's like pop culture movie bullshit to him, But yeah, just forget about it because they stop instantly. The second they stop, it's not even fucking remotely brought back.
Yeah, no, yeah. So he decides he's going to put on the Outer Limits. He pops he does it. He calls the station. He gets some bumbling security fuck. He gets the number off a modem, and then suddenly he's in. He's reprogramming in the worst user interface on a computer ever. All the computer screens in this are total horseshit and dumb. And I thought so even as a child. I will say that.
It's like, kind of like. So at the time of the movie, right? So you're thinking 95. Like a lot of people don't have exposure to internet or how it really works. So how do you make this visually appealing? Because we're a movie first, right? We're visual storytelling. How do I make getting on a fucking computer interesting? And you're like, well, I guess I have to do all these big visual, like it was almost like there's like later on
screen typing.
Yeah. It's just almost like this massive
font size 72
fonts. Yeah, where it's just like what program's running this? What, like, I mean, you put today's dude, like, yeah, it can't just be like the green matrix screens. It can't be like a Linux black screen where you just type in a command, because everybody's going to be like, I'm bored to fucking tears.
Yeah.
So
that's what it really looks like.
They had to make it visually interesting, where I wasn't mad at it. I just it kind of makes you chuckle just because of what you know today and what we.
Yeah, exactly. It's totally like fuck. We didn't know nothing about the internet then.
Yeah, and it's
like, neither did this guy directing a movie about hackers.
Right. Yeah. So I support the choice he made. It is corny nowadays, but I understand like what he was trying to do. But like it goes into my overall massive opinion about the movie later on. Like that. Like I was like, oh. I see what you're doing, man. Let's see what else you can do as a director.
He's like K-Pax, apparently.
I was like, oh, we can't talk. That's weird.
That's his next big movie, and the one that killed his career, basically.
Yeah, because he worked with the pedo.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Well, and he's a sexual aggressor, allegedly. Though I think that one might have been thrown out, or maybe not. I don't know. Allegedly. And
Kevin Spacey, everyone. That's what we're talking.
It's Kevin Spacey and K-Pax. He's an alien. Remember? It's like Jeff Bridges too. I don't know. We're not talking about that movie. But so he puts on Outer Limits, cracks open his joke cola, The kind that
it wasn't
has the
Jolt.
tab that removes.
It wasn't Jolt until the end, dude. It was something because I was looking for that. I was looking for all my core nerd references.
No, they did Jolt all throughout this fucking thing.
Are you sure? Because I didn't start seeing the Jolt until after he started hanging out with the group.
Trust me, if you look to the left,
all right,
he
I'll
already
take your word
has
for it.
an empty Jolt there. Okay, Kevin?
I'll take it.
All right.
But I was like, oh, I like Zero Cool because he's playing Outer Limits, and they showed an 80s Twilight Zone bump and what he likes. So I was like, okay, he could be a likable character. Let's find out.
And then suddenly on his screen, he gets a message saying, "Why have you invaded my territory?" And he's like, "Unbelievable. Another hacker." And I was like, did you not expect another hacker? Like,
dude, he was real. He was real anime right there. He was like, "What? There's another wizard? Yeah, there's another fighter in these parts." And I was just like, "Whoa, dude." Yeah.
And he begins hacking. They begin hacking.
They got to hack off, bro.
Got to hack off. It's hacking a lot. Machine's moving. Visually, I'll say it's good. Like the music really amplifies the scene for sure.
Goes on too long.
He is the slowest typer at the beginning of this movie, and it takes him like 25 minutes to type out "messed with the best, die like the rest." Which, again, as a child watching this, I was like, "That's dope. That's life changing." That's a senior quote waiting to happen. I guarantee people have this.
I got it tattooed on my ass.
I guarantee it's someone's tramp stamp. They're just like, "Check it out, guys." They're like, "Ooh, are you saying you got the best ass?" Or I'm so confused.
Check out my cheek graffiti. Everybody's like, "I like it." Cheek graffiti, you say? Where do I get some?
And it's not on the face. Interesting.
Here's a fun fact for you. The director had the guys of the group, the whole like hacker clique, they hung out and learned how to rollerblade and type before the movie took place.
Well, apparently Johnny Lee Miller was still learning during the opening scene.
And here's what I thought.
So slow and bad.
Here's what I thought. Just have him hit fucking buttons. He's using like one of those. Dude, it's like
What's he typing?
It's like no one's gonna be like, "Oh man, his get on that home row." No one's gonna do that. They just want to see cool hacking, right? Yeah. So, and I was like, all the computers, these little mini laptops, it's like the fucking thing the president keeps near him, the fucking football, when he wants to launch a nuke. Because I was like, Jesus, it's these little
nuke case.
Yeah, that's what they call it. It's like they call the football or something. And the dude, like, there's a guy at the ready that carries that bag with him 24/7 to launch a fucking nuke, and he's just got to be like chop chop. I saw some story where one guy, he was responsible for the bag and he fucking lost it. He was like, Jesus Christ. He's like, I fucking lost it. He's like, not lost it. I know where it's at. I just got to go get it. I was just like, bro, what are you doing?
Behind enemy lines.
Yeah, but there's so many like security precautions behind that thing that gets changed like daily. So there's no way anyone. Well, they probably could. That should be a movie.
Yeah, it probably is.
It probably is.
So yeah, after he types his, I don't know, manifesto. What was that? His catchphrase, I guess. Mess with the best, die like the rest. He gets booted. His termination or his connection is terminated
because it was so lame. They were just
like, fucking. I was like, maybe you should have kept hacking and done less typing, you asshole. And I was like,
he thought he had
and this is the introduction of Acid Burn. Who sends a lot of messages while they're hacking, and I was like, get off my screen, Acid Burn. I'm trying to fucking But and he introduces himself as Crash Override at this point.
It like sucks. These are all like generation first Xbox live handles.
They are, and I guarantee they were all taken instantly. So
yeah.
And then so the next morning we get the introduction to the mom. She makes some virgin joke, and she yells at him. She's like, "You fucking hooked it to the phone, didn't you, Dade? You fuck up again, you don't get into college." And then he's off to school.
What?
What else is in that scene? Like, he pours Coke for breakfast, and
you're kind of showing like mom sacrifices a lot for her son, and she's kind of like she's overprotective for a reason. She doesn't want him to get caught up in any more trouble. This is kind of like this happens a couple more times in the movie where you get these mom moments of he realizes
his motivation for why he doesn't go zero cool on everyone.
Yeah, because he goes zero cool, the fucking clock stop and the world ends and he runs shit. But he holds back the whole time because he's trying to do it for his mom. He could have lived with the dad, but he chose mom. So he's a mama's boy at that extent too. So you get these little tidbits throughout, but that's his main motivation is trying to do right by his mom.
Do right by his mama. And so we're off to the first day of school. He rollerblades in.
Geek.
Carrying his rollerblade. Yeah, even like looking back at him, I'm just like, fucking hell, man. They made them carry those rollerblades like assholes. And why rollerblading? No, the hacker skateboard.
Okay. The other guy had the skateboard.
Oh yeah,
this was the 90s.
Skateboard.
95, dude. Everyone was rollerblading. Like
yeah, they were. I mean, I was. So, but still, looking back, and I was like, "Fuck, man." And he goes up to the most random character introduction of the movie,
dude.
A man on a payphone.
He's on the phone.
He's on the phone.
There's about 900 people walking around you. You ask the guy on the phone?
It was the leopard pants, Kevin. Yeah, I looking back on it, I was just like, why did he?
What a dickhead!
Pick that man on the phone.
He's busy,
and he was like, "Hey, I'm talking to Venezuela," which is weird because he's totally played as Puerto Rican later on in the movie.
Yeah, no, he's Puerto Rican. His mom, there's like Puerto Rican flags on his gear.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm just like, so I don't know why he was talking to Venezuela.
I don't know. He's the hacker, dude. Maybe he's the hacker. Maybe that was
pay for long distance on the school phone.
Maybe that was the dude's code name. Maybe Venezuela was the homie.
No, he was the Phantom Freak with a F.
Oh, on the phone?
PH, sorry, PH.
Okay.
And then he's looking for the principal's office. He goes to the principal's office. He's filling out some paperwork, I guess, for like maybe half a second.
Dude, everybody's filling out paperwork.
Yeah, there's a lot of transfer students.
And then like, what's her name?
Angelina Jolie. Libby.
Isn't Libby?
Yeah.
She's just like, hey, you done? I'm like, done doing what? What is he doing?
Yeah, she talks to him like they've already had an introduction, and he's like, who the fuck are you? And then he does his TV brain thing where he thinks about sex, and you're like, oh, he wants to bang her. Okay. Fair.
And then she just looks at his paper. She's like, Dad Miller?
Dad Miller, huh? Murphy. Is it a Dade Murphy? No, it's Dade. It's not Dade Miller. It's Dade Murphy.
It's Dade Murphy, like Papa Murphy's Pizza.
And she's like, you coming? And then he follows her, and she gives him the shittiest tour. Everything's on the first floor of this school that's very evidently more than one story. She's like, cafeteria there, some shit over there. Here's your classroom. And he's like, you're not in my class? And she's just like, you're definitely not in my class. Kind of like it's a dick measuring joke, everyone. They're just kind of butting heads from the jump. Like, no, anything you could do, I could do better. I'm fucking Kate. You're gonna find out later. Oh yeah, Kate Libby. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, give me time. And then some random guy who's definitely dressed like the 90s.
Hey, Libby, you show him the pool?
Show him about the pool? And she's like, there's an Olympic-sized pool on the roof. And then you see him go out onto the roof instantly. And it was just like,
so stupid.
Even as a child, I did not like or understand. I was like, that's zero cool. I was like, why the fuck zero cool go to a pool? Zero cool don't swim. Zero cool tippity tap. He don't fucking swim. And why would you be like, I'm cutting class first day, gonna go check out the Olympic sized pool? I assume there's naked women up here.
And then your mom was like, little Dustin, shut up. It's just a movie. You're like, I got problems.
I told you we shouldn't bootleg hackers for him. He's watching it every goddamn day.
He's gonna be a fucking weirdo and be
him yelling at the fucking phone earlier. So it goes up there, and not a single idiot.
He called Papa Murphy's on the phone screaming, give me titties. He doesn't know how the internet works. Or or takeout delivery.
Internet, get him titties, or just beat him more. I don't know which one.
Papa Murphy's. Just call him Dad.
Let's just get him some. Get Dade some Dad Murphy some fucking Papa Murphy.
Our son's so fucking weird.
So when they eat the pizza, they don't give me any. They just cry.
Hackers ruined them.
We had to fucking oven bake it ourselves.
I hope this asshole works with Kevin Spacey on his next movie for ruining our son.
He will. He'll tank Spacey's career for a good 5 years. And he'll come back. Yeah, so there's like 10 guys, all nerds. Fucking
they're supposed to be like
just a real geek squad up there.
Real freshman hazing type thing. That's what I was like, is this college? And then it rains.
Well, yeah, they get locked out because not a single soul thought I should stay by the door.
I should prop the door. I should put anything by the door. I should maybe just take a look out of the door.
Feel like you're going up the middle of the building and about to exit a door. Like, who just barges out of a fucking door and expects an Olympic? Do people not know how big an Olympic-sized swimming pool is and how deep it is?
Do they not know how doors work? Wouldn't there be a fire alarm?
Exactly.
On that door
and when you
so
come in the middle,
go up there and jump off the fucking roof,
or dick around in the pool. So
there's no pool.
There's no pool, but it rains, and then we see young Dad Murphy walking through the halls, wet, muddy somehow, even I guess for footprints.
I was like, was he in the sewers?
Yeah, he did. He had to crawl and kick his way out. And then we see what was her name again? Ruth.
Kate Libby.
Kate. I don't know. What? Oh, her mom's Ruth. Her mom's Ruth Libby. We see Kate, she laughs and she's like, I guess he saw the pool. And then he does the TV head thing of picturing her dying. And that's the last time we see that gimmick, I believe. So, and then he's in class. He's in computer class. His computer teacher's just like, I know some of you think you fucking know the internet. He's like, class is out of control, Kevin. Fucking class is out of control. They're looking at skeletons fucking, I guess, and the Phantom Freak's really into it. He's on
Rotten.com. He's like, y'all remember this shit? Fucking wild. You ain't ready. And I'm like, oh shit, dude, I remember that. Get off that site, dude. You're gonna click too many times and see some shit you don't want to see.
He's like, I've already seen all of it. This is back when you could actually consume an entire website in a day, because they only had 5 pages. And Dade has decided he's just gonna hack his school schedule at school on the school computer, and he copies Kate's classes and puts himself in advanced English and puts some tutor notes. It's very clever. And meanwhile, Freak is just staring at him because they already met on the phone call. Beginning of it.
You're the guy that interrupted my call to Venezuela, and he was like,
"You're a hacker."
Yeah. He's like,
"Oh my god, another hacker."
Did they show you the school pool?
Are you wet because of that, or like, is it like too intense in here?
Because it rained for 30 seconds and now it's not, as we're outside again.
Yeah, we're outside. It's a beautiful day. I mean, it's New York. It could work like that, I guess.
I guess.
And then he's just leaving school, and then Freak's like, "You're a fucking elite," and he's just like, "Fucking, you hack, you play the game." He's just like, "God, do you want to use any more fucking weird slang for this?" And he's like, "I'm the Phantom Freak. Don't you know me?" And he's like, "No, I don't fucking know every hacker on the internet. Also, that name sucks a lot." And he's like, "Hey, check this out." And then Joey shows up, and Joey's like,
Joey Pardelia.
Dude. And he's like, "Dude, one more dude out of you, I'm going to smack you." And I will say, I like Freak's dialogue and his delivery.
I thought they were dating. I was like, is this progressive? They come off like a crotchety old couple. And,
I don't know. Joey's like more of like two childhoody friends,
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, they kind of do this weird bickering thing. I could see both things.
Not in the movie very long, either of them, so it's fine.
Yeah, they're in there longer than you think. And I think
and then Joey comes back, and you're like, why did Joey come back?
Yeah, Joey runs up and he's like, hey man, give me I need a gamer tag. I need a fucking, I want to be the anal assassin.
I'm nothing without like he's having this real like existential fucking moment where he's just like, I'm lost on the sea of the fucking internet. The waves just keep crashing down on me because I don't have a name.
I mean, can you call me like
what about Dr. Doom? And
I was like, copyright infringement.
Copyright, motherfucker. You're not getting Dr. Doom. No one. You think a hacker doesn't have Dr. Doom as a handle by now? Come on, motherfucker.
What do you call me like the cocksucker connoisseur? They're just like, dude, that's not gonna work.
Definitely take it.
What do you call me like the butthole burglar? They're just like, well,
Junior. All right, yeah, Junior was that was available.
I think you get your hobbies all mixed up. He's just like,
Joey, we're a bit concerned about you. Not going to be honest. It seems like you drink too much coffee, smoke too many cigarettes, and beat your meat to every bit of pornography you can download on your telephone modem. So,
yeah, and then doesn't the freak gives a cool dad
flyer ever. He's like, check it, Friday. And I was like, what's today? Is today Monday? I don't know. This guy's been in New York for a while. I assume school's already started.
Today's the first day. I don't know.
No, I don't know. I don't think
it's his first day.
It's his first day, yes. Everyone else seemed very comfortable. There was no first day. Joey would have been fucking, wedgied by now or something.
Dude, he's elite.
No, he's not. Because he's not for that later.
He doesn't have a gamer tag, and he doesn't know. He makes a bunch of butt rookie mistakes.
So then it's Friday night, and we're going to this. I don't know.
Did you ever see the first Ninja Turtles everywhere where they go to the Foot Clan's hideout? This is where they go.
This is where they go. Kinda, yeah, it is actually.
It's a mix of that and like Pee-wee's Funhouse and shit. There's all these bright lights.
Matthew Lillard in the front, and he's selling mixtapes. That should give you every idea. And he's listing all these artists, and he says they're all artists that have died from their own, or asphyxiating on their own vomit. And he's like, you can't buy this in stores. And I was like, you can now, Matthew Lillard. You can now. And that's our introduction to Serial Killer, as he's called. Serial like Captain Crunch. Right. And then Dade just rollerblades in because you can just rollerblade into this fucking place.
And you can get what's up head nods by people you'd never met, like the old dude at the little bodega selling like, I don't know, peaches, but Matthew Lillard's Serial Killer selling like mixtapes of shit.
Well, I mean, Matthew Lillard's parents kicked him out of the house, so he had to. He's basically a homeless student.
He's a couch surfing, right?
Yeah, he was couch surfing. And there, of course, is Kate playing what looks like a modded version of Wipeout.
Yeah, it was like a first-person perspective of Wipeout-ish. I don't know. I couldn't make out what it was. I was like, is this?
It totally looks like Wipeout when they show the vehicles.
Yeah.
Though. But then I'm like, that's not Wipeout. Like the rest of it, like that's not Wipeout.
Because it was just like a reticle. Like it was almost like a in the front, and then it was like missiles, but it had like the PlayStation banner in the background. But then when you saw the score, it was fucking something completely different. Could have just been some bullshit built by Sony for them, Yeah,
oh, definitely, most definitely. And so she beats her top score, and then she has all the top scores, and then he's just like, not bad for a girl. And I was like, Dave's got a little sexism in him. And she's like, you think you could do better? And he's just like, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
let me get some Zero Cool going here. And then so he starts playing, and then she's standing too close, and then some pretty boy is just like, this fucking kid bothered you? I was like, oh, thanks for reminding us he's a teenager, sir.
This grown man giving you trouble, miss.
Miss, you need me to beat this guy up and call the police? And, of course, Dade beats her score, dies right afterwards.
Crushes
and then Freak comes over, and he's just like, you just made an enemy for life because no one's ever beat her. And he's just like, okay, so she's a bad loser. I got it.
Yeah, he told her to boot up or shut up.
Yeah, and then they instantly leave the party. And there is Angelina Jolie making out with the pretty boy on the back of a motorcycle. And she's also wearing a full bodysuit, I should mention to everyone. I'm sure people want to know that. Like, all white, like, skin-tight leather bodysuit.
Yeah, there's another thing I had so Kate, Libby, she wears a lot of rash guards, and that's basically something you wear like a top or something if you want to go surfing or you're going to kind of be out in the water or pool or something. Mostly like sometimes surfers, water sports, whatever. She wears them all the time, like everyday fashion. It bothered the ever-loving shit out of me. She's always wearing
fashion. Look it up, especially Hacker New York fashion in '95.
It's like I was like, why is she wearing a Quicksilver rash guard? I was like, oh, she's wearing another. Oh,
they sponsored the movie with Jolt Cola.
Oh,
so they were low key a sponsor. And then Dade is just like, who's that? And they're like, I forget the guy's name. And Freak's just like, he just looks all fly and shit all day. Or he's like, what's he do? He's like, just that's it. You're looking at it. He just looks all fly and shit all day. And I was like, okay. I was like, which character does he want to make out with? I'm confused now because it seems like he's maybe more interested in the guy. I don't know. And then I'm trying to think, don't they? He goes back home and he starts hacking again because now he's got to get revenge.
He's got a hack attack.
Yeah, he's got a hack attack, and so he hacks the school and does a fire sprinkler test, and then he's just standing out in the hallway.
Well, yeah, you got to build it up, man. He sets it up. He's kind of this is his fucking checkmate.
Yeah,
and he's just waiting. He's just like, school pool, huh, motherfucker? I'll show you school pool when I make it fucking rain.
So he's out there, he pops his umbrella, he's looking at his watch. Freak shows up because no one's in class, apparently, if you're hacking. And then the sprinklers go off, the students release from classes at the exact same time.
Well, it's the fire alarm. The fire alarm's triggered, so they're supposed to be leaving, but it could be a fire. But no one cares because they're all dancing in the sprinklers. I was like, this is dangerous.
Girls are not wearing bras. Freak is like, this is awesome. He's not wrong. He's my second favorite character of this movie, I think.
He was a little wrong.
No, he wasn't. Kate comes up and she's just like, what the fuck is this? And he's just like, pool on the roof must have a leak. Best line of the movie, possibly. Nah, it's a good line. And then he just walks away with his umbrella completely dry while everyone else gets wet. And that's his revenge. And I believe now we go to another touching moment with the mom. She's like, how was school? He was like, She's like, what'd you learn? He's like, revenge. And she's like, ooh, what's her name? Like, totally just reads through his shit. Like, oh, you're in love. Get revenge on the girls. And she's like, fill out these forms and blah, 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 blah. And he's just like, nah, I don't want to. It's college. I'm not doing college. And is this where he goes to the party or something?
It was Wipeout. I had to look it up.
I knew it was based on the ships. I knew it had to be some sort of weird mod that they did for.
Yeah, it was a CGI like enhancement type thing for it.
Yeah,
some other.
I mean, because I saw the ships and I was like, well, that's Wipeout. But then I also played Wipeout a lot, and I was just like, I've never seen this version of Wipeout like ever. Yeah. So I assume they just made some weird like 5-second thing for the movie because they just like
pretend you're playing, dude.
Move these back and forth. It's like Virtual-On. In fact, we basically just stole the console for Virtual-On.
And in fact, we're going to go play some Virtual-On. So enjoy.
God, Virtual-On. Have you played online? It's really good. Like, they brought it back to be dead. I mean, the graphics are so-so, but it's like, you get to play online now. It's fucking dope. Anyway, is this the part where after he talks to the mom, is that... he hangs out with the guys one more time.
Yeah,
they meet Nikon.
They go to the... They go to the Foot Clan thing. They go to the hangout place because they get Joey, and then Joey tells them what he's been up to. And then they go meet Nikon because they have to meet the elite guys, but the elite guys are on television. Some public access shit again.
Yeah.
So they go back to the thing. Yeah, and Joey's this little. They don't meet Joey. They meet up with Joey.
Yeah, well, they're all there. They're hanging out at the Foot Clan place again.
And this is kind of where you get to see Matthew Lillard's character, the serial killer guy. He talks a lot more. He's not just like saying random things. He's just like, they're eating fries and bullshit, and they're all like, dude, the other guy's like chain smoking like a motherfucker. I'm like, dude, you're just hotboxing those things, so you're not even fucking smoking them.
Joey's bad. He's got it bad.
And he's like, "Hey guys, you're never gonna believe what I did. I was like hacking. I was like looking around. I was like, oh, what am I in right now? Oh, it turned out to be like a bank. And then I just routed it over there. And so like at Omaha, Nebraska, and shit or something, some ATM just kicked out $700. Pretty cool, right? And they're just like, dude, dipshit, what are you doing? That's like felony. You can't be doing this." And he's just like, "But I'm just trying to be cool. I'm a real butt rookie." And they're just like, "Yeah, man, you're the fucking worst right now. But you're our friend, so we're gonna just really give it to you." And then Matthew
and Freak says, you can't, if you want to be elite, you can't just be random. Like your hacks can't be random. You got to know what you're doing.
Right.
Elite.
There's rules to be an elite. Elite. So he's just like, "Oh yeah, well, I'm just trying my best. I'm eating French fries."
Well, and he does call them out. He's like, "You guys always say, that you always say all this shit about what I do, but then you don't offer any help or anything either." So, like, yeah, but then they don't actually help him. Well, I think Dade says something, and then he just does what Dade said magically, and I was like, all right, well, maybe that's why they don't tell you anything, Joey, because you just caused a movie. Like, you were a MacGuffin. I did like the line. In '95 it had no meaning to me, but now when Matthew Lillard just shows up and he's just like, you could like sit on your butt and do nothing, and your name goes through like 17 computers a day. And I was like, Jesus, I wish my name only went through 17 computers a day.
Yeah, trying 17 million a day, probably.
Yeah, exactly. So,
this is the part of the movie where I think a lot of it starts to get mishandled, right? So I'm kind of hanging out with these characters. Last time I looked, fucking Dade is my protagonist, right? And then I'm hearing this Joey character go off, and he's kind of has. He's the one that kind of has these problems, and he's trying to grow and do these things. He's looking for acceptance from his friends, right? Yeah. He's going to them for tips on handles or names or an online presence. So he's doing that, and he's like, "Hey,
Dr. Doom's penis is what he settled on, everyone." Actually, I think it was just fucking Joey is what they decided. They're like, "You're just fucking Joey, man."
His name was Smoke Him If You Got Him.
He was like, "I'm fresh fucking out."
The hot boxer. So, and he's just constantly looking for their approval, right? And he's like a little brother. Every time he steps up, he's like, "Guys, I did this. Please, show me love. Just fucking tell me I'm doing good." And they're just kind of like, and they just keep pushing him down, right? Yeah. And then like Dade the whole time, he has nothing to do as a character. And I'm like, well, when is it going to jump off for him? When's the other fucking foot going to hit? Let's go. Let's get his movie running. It's like been 25 fucking minutes already. I've already been introduced to everyone poorly. Like, if you would have took every one of these guys, you would have had the time for it, because believe me, you do, because you don't do anything. We get Nikon later. He shows up to round out the group. Give me a 5-minute thing of them showing off their hacking skills.
Yeah, because they don't do a lot of hacking together.
They don't do a lot of hacking together, and they just come off like fanboy geeks just sitting around talking about shit, i.e. this. And you're just like, do it. Why don't you go show me? Don't fucking tell me you guys suck. And they're trying to get their street cred by wowing the audience of being like, I can't even remember if it's this scene or another scene that's literally identical. Like, serial killer starts pulling out basically all these like hacking manifestos.
No, it's this scene. Yeah.
Yeah,
and Dade already knows them all and has them basically memorized.
Right, like, so here's another thing I hated. So Dade already knows them all. So now you're saying this dude is elite beyond the elite. He's so versed in almost everything. All these like rare things, like if you know them, and he's like telling you the fucking day they were printed and shit.
Yeah, he's like the ugly pink shirt book. Because of the man on the cover who has an ugly pink shirt, and it's like, oh,
he knows the slang name for him.
Towards the camera. No, all right.
And that's the problem with the way this is shot as well. Just to fucking beat the shit out of this scene. It's like we don't ever get a punch in on Dade. Like, this is his story, right? It should have just been a close up of him just looking at the book and just rattling them off. Cut to the book, rattles it off. Doesn't even already knows it, and then we should have
had some of that brain shit while he's doing it too, But no.
I gave up on that. I was waiting for that in this scene where he would associate those books with one of his little pop culture learning things, or like how he expresses himself with these interweaving cuts of shit. And And they didn't do it. They should have basically been showing the books, him rattling off something over the top that no one would know about it, and getting their reaction as he's earning their cred. He's just like, dude, this guy he might be more than elite. Like, that's what I was waiting for, because I think after this, like you said, they go to Nikon, right?
Yeah, they do go to Nikon after this. Joey doesn't go with them. It's just Freak, Serial Killer, and Dade. And Nikon's like, who's this guy? And he's just like, Crash Override. And he's just like, never fucking heard of him. He shuts the door. And he's like, come on, dude, he's elite. And he's like, for reals? And he's like, yeah. And then Nikon's is totally just a ball buster, because then Serial's just like, hey, man, can I sleep here? And he's just like, again? And then they do some, I don't know,
some Bill and Ted handshake shit.
Yeah, it's weird.
It was kind of funny. They did this like kung fu pose off on each other. And I was like, okay, the thing
friends.
the thing is with
he was going to open the door.
I believe they're friends. I believe they could include this Dade guy and hang out with them. They all have their own personalities, and they're all centric enough to be like, hey, these guys would have some camaraderie. I believe they like the same things. But when this is another chance for Dade to be like, hey, this is my fucking story, everyone. Like, when he's like, who's this guy? He's like, I'm fucking Maximum Rush or whatever the fuck. And he's just like, all right, never heard of you. And he's like, you're going to hear of me. Or something like that. Or something cocky. Something balls up a little bit. Yeah, he only brings
out the cockiness when he's dealing with Angelina Jolie's character.
Like, yeah.
That's it. And then it comes off sexist. And you're like, oh.
No, dude, it does. He comes off very, like, misogynistic and, like, sexist and shit. I'm like, bro, dude, like, your mom's a woman, right? Like, calm down. Like, it comes off gross.
You picked your mom, not your dad. He was fucking balding as fuck, by the way.
Yeah, guess what? You will too.
Your bird stressed him out.
And
I'm pretty sure he had hair when he was watching that Thunderbird. Well, that could have been the neighbor. I don't know.
It probably was. And that's kind of like my beginning problem with everything. Like it's kind of hokey and corny. It's 90s. It's okay. Like, I'm totally fine with it. But when I see like my main character not getting pushed, like, I'm kind of more curious to see what Joey's doing. He's the one that's got all the strife and shit. I'm like, does Joey grow? Does he stop smoking? Does he not get caught by his mom fucking staying up too late? Because he's got something to prove. This guy's just hanging around. Apply to college. No. Okay. Drink Coke from a bottle to a glass. You know what I mean?
The problem for me, like, even looking back on this, is that he is supposed to be, I mean, it is very, like you said earlier, anime. He's supposed to be our window into this, like this genius that doesn't know this world because he's been cut off from it for so long. But then it makes you kind of go, well, why the fuck am I rooting for this guy? He's got nothing to do. He's already better than everyone without having been, like, inundated with it for as long as them because of his genius level IQ or whatever. So it's just kind of like, okay, there's really no reason or point in which you root for him. It's just more of just like, he's your main character and he wears midriff, so you're just like, I guess I root for this guy.
Yeah, so. He's the one that gets the most screen time, that he just kind of wins by default, where I totally agree with you, where I was just like, well, is he dormant for so long and they're going to poke the bear and this guy's just going to fucking hack the planet? Because that's what I'm waiting for. But then I don't see him do anything. Yeah.
His hacking is never really impressive. So
exactly, like when you first meet Nikon and he calls them out, like I was like, oh, that's gonna bother him. He's gonna be like, yeah, dude, don't fucking poke the bear, dude. I'm about to go off. I'll hack the planet on your ass. But then I don't
crash override you right now.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was waiting for. Maybe just grit his teeth, just cut to something. He's just like, shows like a bear fucking smacking a hunter, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what he's thinking. You know what I mean?
That though.
But they forgot about that. But they just
footage we could use.
Listen, that shit's expensive.
Real weak back in '95.
The dude fucking cutting it was just like, I don't want to do that anymore.
I don't want to do this anymore because this director is fucking nuts. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He keeps talking about some fucking alien movie he wants to do in the future. It's real stupid.
And then now you're on Nikon's couch and they're just like, what are we going to do, man? I was like, what do you guys do? Like, you're gonna hack a pizza? Like, this is what are you gonna do? No. Something cool. Did you show me some cool?
And all these kids are just like running amok, like kind of without parents and shit. And again, very anime of them. Here's the weird favorite part of this, Kevin, of like the editing doesn't make sense. I noticed this as a child. It always bothered me as a child. So when they watch the Secret Service agent's interview, Joey's getting arrested in the background.
Yeah, they use the same. They do it twice in this movie. I didn't want to. They use a lot of the same footage loops.
Yeah, but then later after this scene, we see Joey do the hack and then get arrested later on.
It's the same
but
shot.
But we already know that he got arrested if you're paying attention. So I was just kind of like, why did they edit it this way? But anyway, so yeah, then we're introduced to a hacking show where they hack a TV network and
these two just elite hacker guys that kind of just spit all their knowledge, and this is kind of how they get it off these weirdo PBS dudes.
Yeah. And then we go to Joey. He's doing a hack. He's hacked a Gibson, and he's just like, okay, I need proof that I was here. You see this like really stupid mainframe where it's like made out of glass and shit. And he's like, I gotta copy this garbage file and then I'll be done. And so he starts copying, and then cue Penn and Teller, minus Teller.
Without Teller.
And I was just like, why is he here? I was like, he's a kind of a comedian / magician. Why do people want him to act? He can't act. He's never been good in front of the camera in that regard.
He's serviceable in what he's doing here. I thought they were going to
why? Of all the people, you could just had some fucking person.
You could have had the other dude on the other side of the table at the end where he's like, hey, they're getting into this sector. Like, I guess because his delivery could be humorous, I guess. Maybe he wasn't.
He's just kind of slouched at a table the whole time.
No, he does nothing.
All of his millions of bracelets on.
Yeah, he does nothing to really kind of just steal the show or anything. Yeah. Like I thought he come in.
The director liked him and was just like the same thing with their fucking what the fuck is this? Not Mark Anthony.
Yeah, it is Mark.
Yeah, Mark Anthony. I couldn't remember for a second. I was like, oh shit, am I about to say the wrong fucking name? And it was it was like he was just like, I was listening to a lot of Mark Anthony at that time, and so I just asked him to be in the movie. You know, guy couldn't act for shit, but I asked him to be in the movie.
He was fine. He didn't like.
Yeah, he actually was like.
I thought he did a serviceable job. I was like, everyone's like the acting is already kind of corny. It's real like fucking Double Dragon the movie or like Super Mario Brothers or something, which I've never seen, but I've seen enough.
We got our next movie, everybody.
We do not.
We got our next Mario and Luigi Mario. We're doing it.
What an accident! What an accident! So yeah, so I don't even know where we're at. I guess we got to go to the bad guys, right?
Penn and Teller, yeah, he's just like, hey, Mr. something, I gotta. He's like, my name is the Plague, and he's like, Mr. the Plague, we got a problem with the Gibson. There's only one person logged on, but it's doing the workload of 10 people because hackers do a lot more.
Yeah, Eugene's like, we're being hacked, motherfucker. Yeah. Fire up my espresso. I'm on my way. And he just runs down there, and he's like, just patch me in. And he's just hitting these 2 orange plastic keys. And I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know.
There's not even a establishing shot of this Gibson supercomputer. They don't even go, check it out. This key.
Not until this scene when like the console, you mean? No, yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's doing. Like, it's like, the thing is, you're introducing your audience into this like fantasy world with these hackers. Like, show the tools, make that a part of it. Like, that's their gimmick, you know.
They couldn't, because now we would look back and be like, what the fuck? Like, doing what we're doing right now, we're like, this is bullshit. But like, they should have just been like, we're going all in because you're gonna do that anyways.
You know, here's the thing, man, and I'll get to it later, but I don't think it would have been bullshit. I would have been all in, because there's things in this movie that I noticed, and I noticed it with the cast. I noticed it with like the devices they're using, from the computers to how they interact with each other. It wouldn't have been bullshit to me, and I really was confused tonally of like what it was trying to do, and then until I just gave up and realized it was just poorly put together.
Yeah,
like I'll just say it out. Like, to me, what this movie does is it's a cyberpunk movie through and through. And cyberpunk is very like anti-establishment, very dystopian usually, to kind of push back. And that's what these guys are doing. They're these kids, they say it's curiosity and stuff like that, but they end up pushing back because they stumble across something that's bigger than them, right? So it's going to be basically this extortion thing from this guy, and they get a copy of it, and they kind of find out that information's out. So now the kids are kind of in danger, right? or the hack group. But they pull together as hackers and kind of like, they don't save the day. They kind of do. They stop the extortion.
Well, I mean, you're cutting right to the fucking ending.
But that's what happens, right? So overall, it's like if you look at these characters, they're dressed like almost nobody else. They're saying these hackers, they have a vibe, they have a look, very cyberpunk. They're standing out for a reason. This guy wears like a fucking motorcycle jacket 99% of the time. He's wearing the midriff. They all have these eccentric looks.
He's got like weird double belts around his leg. It's very anime.
It's very anime.
That was a thing.
Hanging suspenders. He's wearing like a safety vest one time.
Seen Trigun? It's like Trigun, only they're in high school.
So. It's the what is it, Wild Man? He's literally wearing cheetah. Like they took it so fucking literal. He's wearing like cheetah print and like leopard print and
white cat shirt. That's I guess ironic before it was ironic.
He has a
twice, and I was like,
he has the white cat shirt. And the cat shirt has like a rose or a flower. That was like literally the best shirt in the whole movie.
It is. You just
it's great. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, but if you look at everyone else, especially in the school, everyone's very toned down. Everyone in the office is toned down. Even the plague, he has like the big shoulder pads. He has the vest and the
fur coats and shit. You know,
big coats. They're all over the top looking. So I was thinking to myself, I was like, "Fuck, man, this movie would be so awesome if they're almost very comic booky anime. If they were just left to their own devices and just do whatever. We got the hacking." You could have done it like there's so many different ways you could have done it. You could have like not rebooted them, but put them on like a green screen and made it like fucking Legends of the Hidden Temple or something. You know what I mean? This like it would have been super goofy, like they're inside, but that's like their avatars. It would have been fucking sick though.
Yeah, they kind of
because
do that
looking back, like it's like when a movie like Evil Dead, right? It's supposed to be scary but comes off corny, but now everybody loves it because it's corny, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that's what this could have been, but it's such a poor movie put together. It can't. You can only like it for its weird nostalgia factor when it could have been like a classic of like, dude, this is like a cyberpunk story that's real kind of based hard in that in the regular world, in their 90s world. You have the fucking secret agents trying to stop them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I was really wanting that to happen, but it just I
think like part of the director wanted to do that, but then the other part wanted him, you know, like you said, he was just into that culture, and so he was trying to like ground it and make it real to like people, and this movie is that unfortunate result where it doesn't really work like that, because it's like you could just like spot a hacker because it's like, oh, is that guy dressed like an asshole? That guy's a hacker, you know? Like it's just that I don't know, that obvious, I guess. But
and I think that I would have been okay with that. I wanted that world where I'm just like, everything else in the world is regular and boring. I don't want that. I want these hackers to take me on an adventure, like some Peter Pan shit, right? They're going to places you can't go. They're holding your hand. And that's, like you said earlier, that should have been fucking Dad's character, or Dodd, or whatever the fuck.
Dade. It's Dade.
That should have been Zero Cool.
Dodd, Dad, doodly doo-doo.
Zero Cool should have been like, hey, viewer, I'm going to take you to this underground crazy world. It's not like dark and scary, but it's going to just be totally like fantastic. And
it is a little bit when they do that subway scene. Those people like fucking contorting and like doing the skateboarding or the rollerblading all slow and creepy. But that's just New York in general.
But that's what I mean. Like there's so many opportunities to kind of really push that in and capitalize it, where it's just like, wow, I want to watch this to be a fucking hacker because I get to wear goddamn transparent jackets and mohawks.
I guarantee though that like, at least for me, I watched this and was like, fucking hack the planet. Like, I guarantee that cookies probably came from this movie. I would almost bet that they did. Like, because the reason we have cookies on our fucking browsers is because of this fucking movie. So
there's so many times where it just screams to be like this weird pseudo cyberpunk like Final Fantasy bullshit where they're all hacking at the same time. One dude's using the rabbits to fucking breed the thing. You know what I mean? They're all attacking in their own special way, and the other dude's wearing like a fucking.
All right, well, let's not jump to the end yet because there's still some good stuff before that, Kevin. So save some of this. Spoiler this, okay? All right.
What the movie's like 30 fucking years old.
Yeah, we cover it in a way for a reason, sir. Okay. Anyway, back to the movie. So yes, we are introduced to the plague. He introduces us to this concept of a virus that it was planted by a hacker, and it's called the Vinci Virus, and it's going to sink these tankers because this Emerson place is basically it's Exxon Mobil. That's what it is. I guess just Exxon because it was the 90s and they didn't merge yet. But he's like, I called in the Secret Service. We're going to raid this fucking hacker's shit. We're going to find this disk and we're going to shut it down. He's basically looking for evidence, as we later learned that Joey found his garbage file that contains a worm. And we don't know it quite yet, but it's basically that this worm is going to net them $25 million, which didn't sound like that much in 2020, but it was a lot in 95, I'm sure.
Inflation.
Yeah, inflation. So it'd be like $1 billion now. It'd be like 2 shares of Apple stock. And so we've introduced our bad guy. We now arrest Joey. We introduce Agent Gil. Yeah, sorry. Gil. And so you're just like, oh, okay, this part, I will admit, those are all very pretty boring parts. And then we get to a party at Kate's penthouse.
Well, I want to say something about Gil really quick.
Yeah, go for it.
He's basically the U.S. Secret Service, right? So he's this is almost like a demotion for him, doing this like online AOL disc chasing bullshit, right?
Yeah.
He knows absolutely fuck all about what he's covering, what he's doing. If it wasn't for Mark Anthony and the other white dude, he wouldn't know anything. And you're like,
that seems accurate. That's how the government works at times.
Yeah, but it's his job. He's basically not a threat. He's a goof, right?
Yeah, he's definitely a goof.
The only other threat, of course, is the plague guy, the Eugene dude, because he's the other hacker, and he's just basically they've meddled into his business, those kids.
Yeah.
And a thing, I don't know if this was like a subplot or just something I created in my head. We have Mark Anthony's character. He thinks they're cool. He thinks all of this is cool. He's fanboying every time he sees some hacker shit happen. And I'm like, and I swear to God, he's at one of these rave parties.
No, he's at the party. He's doing surveillance at the party.
And I'm waiting for him the whole time.
But it's so awkward because you're just like, he's really cutting a rug. Is he surveilling anything? Like, what's going on here?
No, in all honesty, he's in the moment, right? And I really thought he was going to help the kids later on because he's so into it.
Yeah.
Like, I literally thought it was going to be like, fucking, hey, you know what? Like, let him slide on something or hide the disc for him or just been like, hey, man, you guys are cool. Yeah, fucking hack the planet. Well, you know what I mean? Like, I thought he was going to buy in. But, God.
They're like, I don't know. Are you elite? He's like, well, my fucking hacker name is Dr. Doom. And they're like, oh, fuck. Dude, told you, Joey, it's taken, you fucking bum. Fucking hack bum.
I was waiting for that. Like, there's a part where he's just like, you know what? I believe what these kids are doing. If we can stop this, we can change the world. And I thought he was gonna like join the crew. I didn't know what was going on.
He just says that's cool.
But he just says everything's cool, and then he just disappears into the movie ether.
He does, yeah. He doesn't really do anything else after that. Which is, again, why it's weird that he was in. It's weird. Like, their screen time's weird, too. It's just, I don't know. It was like,
I think,
let's have someone read the Hacker Manifesto real quick.
Manifesto?
Okay, that's in here now.
Well, it's the anti-establishment part, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be to your regular movie audience. Like, we don't understand what the other guy bad hacker guy, what's that? So let's have, we understand cops, we understand Secret Service, we understand guys in suits with earpieces and guns and SWAT team 3 times just blitz everything in this movie.
Everything. They blitz hard.
They're playing Tecmo Super Bowl, they blitz on every play.
Hey, that's how you win.
That's how they win, shit, for sure. Yeah. And I think that's kind of really what they represent in the movie, like some sort of boring, like legal judicial aspect of it to actually give them some sort of like penalties for hacking, some sort of like And it's just I think
they're the stakes. They're literally the walking embodiment of these are the high stakes they're up against, So But they're at this party, and they find Kate's computer, and of course these fucking nerds are just nerding out.
Look at
Matthew
this
Lillard has a line that says, spandex, it's a right, not a privilege. And
dude, yeah, there's all these weird like 90s sexist jokes.
Yeah, and you don't even see who they're talking about, Oh, and Nikon established that he has a photographic memory, and he's apparently stalking a woman. So
yeah, he like memorized her information, and we just think
she's just like, hey, how'd you know my name?
Yeah, there's this very attractive girl just dancing, and then they just kind of don't do anything else with it, but just creepily just
it's like it didn't make any sense like at all. Even as a kid, I was just like, what was the point of that?
Yeah, just to show a pretty girl.
That show? Yeah, I was just like, can't they just look at her? It's the same thing.
So you don't.
But they're fucking around on Kate's computer. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you don't see her for a minute. She's off with her like too cool for school boyfriend. I think he had a super dope sweater on later on. The boyfriend has it's like an Adidas.
Oh no, his clothing was bomb. He was dressed crazy too, but in like a very cool way.
No, he was more appropriate, pop culture appropriate, where they were kind of more alternative. It was the classic Adidas logo, not the sport logo, but it had it looked like it had some sort of repeating pattern underneath it, and I was like, what the fuck? That would be super popular today. I was like, who dressed this guy? Couldn't have been anybody.
I dressed my fucking self. Did you see fucking wardrobe here? Nah. Exactly. They're gonna let them take my career like that. So little did he know, no career for you.
I think this was supposed to be played for comedy. Is all three of their heads they're basically all around Kate's rig, so right? And they're all just like, wow,
so cringy.
Look at the graphics. Look at these blast processors.
They're just like, Matthew Lillard's like, fuck, I got my penis stuck in the disk drive. Oh, God.
I want this computer. I want it.
I want to have my babies.
In the background, Libby and her boyfriend are making out, right? They just kind of drop down on the bed.
Fuck. I mean, I know this is our party and all, but we're going to fuck right now.
He flips her shirt a little bit, and you just kind of see, you almost see some fucking real estate, but you don't. And
it's dark.
All the guys just kind of turn, and they're all just pounding it, right? Just wanking their wank.
Yeah. And Nikon pulls that little shitty. He's got sunglasses on, but he pulls out magnifying glasses on him. He's just like 7, no 8, and I was just like, what?
That's the difficulty of that removal of shirt move.
They're talking about the removal of the bra, and then they keep calling her burn, and then Dade's just like, fucking acid burn. He just figures it out.
And everyone in the theater watched this and their lives were like, duh.
Duh. No shit. Like when you said, do you know a hacker named Acid Bird? And Freak was like, nope.
Or we're out of fucking characters, and it's about 45 hours into the movie. This movie's an hour and 45 minutes. We got a long way to go.
Yeah. And so then Freak covers, and we're just looking at your sweet rig, and blah, 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 blah. She starts going, and then the guy gets cock blocked by his computer, or by her computer, basically. And then we're still at this party.
Yeah, and she's like, you like my computer, guys? And then they're like, yeah, it's pretty sick, but can it run Crysis? And everybody's like, whoa!
She's like, fuck yeah, I'm a developer on it. And then, so we're still at this party. Dade's he doesn't socialize well, and so he just goes back to the computer, and he's just fucking around on the computer, and she's just like, hey, man, what are you doing? Touch my rig and shit.
I'm like, bitch, lock your screen.
Yeah, I was like, no one's got passwords in this shit? What the fuck? You call yourself a hacker? All your jackass friends could just show up and be clickety clack.
He's like, I knew your password. It's always the same thing. Sex, God, rock and roll.
Sex, God, secret. Yeah, I was just like, man, these need to be updated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the most common one.
Yeah, no, password. That's
password. Password is number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 6 is number 2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. And then birthday. Just just the word birthday.
The shit that they were saying, I was like, man, I'm going to use those. No one's using those anymore.
I'm going to use secret, God, sex, and pasta. That's my new password. But in
secret, sex, order. God, 5.
Sex, God. number 5, the affinity. They're just like, what the fuck? And that's a lot to type every time.
I regret it.
Google's like, that's safe but stupid. You're like, don't judge me, Google. Just fucking tell me if it's strong or not.
And there's somebody in a dark room at Google's just clacking away. He's like, it's mega safe. There's no way I can break it.
So and then, safe. I mean, I'm looking at it, but I wouldn't break it.
And then he powers down his computer, and then a fucking screensaver comes up and just says, age 2. This summer. Sick reveal. People are like, you mean the car? I'm like, no, man, that's a planet killer. I'm talking about hacking the planet, not killing it.
The planet. And so for whatever reason, Dade's like, sure, all this sweet machine's not going to waste.
And she's a woman? Like, how'd you get out of the kitchen? I was like, is he
spoiled brat woman?
Yeah, I was like, how are you
told me about because he's just like, you remember when I got wet because I was stupid and I wanted to see titties?
Yeah, I go, you remember?
He's like, that's your fault. Everyone knew I was a dumb pervert. Yeah, I'll never forgive you, Kate Lemmy.
It wasn't like she was like,
hey, my fucking pervo shame.
It wasn't like, hey man, here's a broom closet, let's meet there and fuck. And she didn't do that to him. She was like, hey man,
the pool roof. And I was just like, maybe wait for pool class then, dude. Sign up for water polo. I don't know. Why'd you run up there instantly?
He thought fucking Phoebe Cates was coming to that fucking pool.
He's like, where do the boobs pop out of here? And they were like, there's no pool or boobs. He's like, fuck, where are the boobs? And they were like, oh shit, we are.
He was like, listen, man.
Hold the door. None of us thought to stay by it.
Listen. I signed up for a 80s teen sex comedy about hacking computers just to see more titties. I better run up there.
Where's the weird science? Anyone? Anyone?
This would have been a better movie exponentially if he would have ran on that roof and there'd been like about 800 deaths of nerds just hacking. And then they were just nerds from all around the world just hacking. And then they all stop and look up, push their glasses up with the middle of their fucking nose because no one does that. And they go, looks like our master's here. Yes, cool breeze, cool chill. No, wait, get his name right. Papa Murphy. So they all just start talking.
Papa Murphy's. He's just like, oh, it's going to be a long semester.
Yeah.
And it just fucking...
And then the door slams behind him. The credits
slams in on him and just like, Dade Murphy is one cool cucumber this fall.
Yeah. Hey, Zero Cool, what are we up to this time? And there he's just hanging out cigarettes to them all, and they're all just drinking Jolt. They're all
like, so when you see a dame, you got to backhand her and tell her, get back in the kitchen. I'm Dade Murphy. I love my mama, but I'll fucking hit a bitch. And they're just like, whoa, dude. Whoa, leave not that cool.
Leave that
at all, Zero.
Red Band.
Yeah, gotta get ass. Someone take his Jolt Cola away from him. They're a sponsor.
And then all of a sudden in the back row, you see a hacker, and it's a girl. She pushes her glasses up, and she's got her hair cut like a man, so she can infiltrate it, and she's gonna bring him down from the inside.
You see her in the bathroom. She has to tape her boobs down. She's like, "This is below me. I fucking hate Dade Murphy."
And then she takes
Zero cool.
And then
she to the zero.
And then she takes bologna and tapes it to her leg. She's like, that's it. I'm going to show these boys what they're fucking with. Ooh, leave that in the trailer, Red Band.
I mean, I pictured sliced bologna for some reason when you said that. So I was like, weird. Then it occurred to me I was the weird one.
Well, looking back at my childhood, taping sliced bologna to my leg was a bad idea.
Oh, that's not what they meant. That's why the dogs hated me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to talk about this movie.
I know, it's way better, unfortunately. But no, we got to get to Dade throwing down the gauntlet. He's like, I'm going to have a hack off. We're going to hack off. And the
guy drops his pants. He's like, I said hack off.
Oh.
Come on, serial killer.
Serial's just like, well, I mean, can you help someone out here? I mean, like, come on, I'm lonely.
Help a hacker out.
And so Freak, he takes over narration because it's his movie, obviously. So they're like, hey, you're going to...
I don't know whose movie this is.
It's all of their movie. They're hackers. It's the hackers movie. So if you're a hacker, this is your movie.
Brought to you by AOL.
Brought to you by AOL. Bing, boom, boom. You remember the sound. You miss it.
Bing, bong, boom, you've been hacked.
Bing, bong, boom. I got your fucking digits. Your credit score's in the toilet. We don't have Credit Karma yet, so you're fucked.
You got to get the LifeLock, stupid.
You gotta get the LifeLock. That guy's only had his soul stolen 3 times. That's 3 less than you.
And Papa Murphy's walking the rows. He's just like, who's hacking the planet?
Who's hacking the planet without a slice of Papa Murphy's? You got to make it yourself, though. But just like,
is it you, baloney dick? You running shit back here? And then she pulls her hair down and it's all long. She's like, I'm a girl. Her tits pop out. And it's all anime. His nose explodes. We've been
beating off to your picture in the fucking bathroom all semester.
And then it just fucking cuts in on her eyes.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. But instead, they got to harass Agent Gil. Yeah.
They're like, listen, let's make him disappear.
Let's make this guy relevant to our movie. So they hack and like, it's just the best part is the locations in which they hack, not the actual hacks they do, because the hacks they do suck.
The hacks they do suck so bad. Like, I always thought they were going to erase this motherfucker. Yeah, let's get revenge for Jeremy. He's in jail.
Joey. They're like, fucking Jeremy's song.
That's his handle, dude.
He's like, I know what my handle is, guys. It's Jeremy. They're like, are you having like identity crisis, Joey, or what?
I thought that was his name.
Nah,
they're just like, that's my handle.
That's my handle, motherfuckers.
Because
you can't handle Jeremy.
They get picked up.
Jeremy show up.
We got to get him arrested before we go to the hack off.
No, we already covered that.
Well, he has the garbage file on the 3x5 because.
Yeah, we breezed over that. You were doing your soapbox, and I just kind of threw it out there. So we're moving on now, Kevin.
I got to catch up.
Joey's been arrested. Okay. Yeah.
Joey's been arrested.
He's been arrested. He's on house arrest. His mom grounded him. He can't even go to school. Apparently, that's
even the cops make fun of it.
They're like grounded by his mother. They're just like
bitch made.
Yeah, so
cops are so angry. I see that Joey again. I'm gonna fucking punch him for getting grounded.
Yeah, so they're in Chinatown hacking on a payphone, and Kate gets his credit cards declined and cut up, and then Dade, what does he do? Oh, he gets him arrested.
He what?
Yeah, he puts him for a DUI and a bunch of traffic violations.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, like that would never happen. And no, they put she does something else to him again, like, and then he puts up on a personal ad about transvestites and spanking and then cosplay.
And then like apparently every person in all of New York calls this number on the same day.
I can see it.
And they just start talking like dirty. They're like, that's why they call me Spanky or whatever. I forget what he says. And he's just like, oh, I'm going to spank your ass. And then,
yeah.
And that seems funny, but it doesn't make any sense because I'm like, I can see him getting some hits, but like his phone's going crazy. Like he's giving away a free car in the 90s, and people are like, in
all honesty, we didn't get to read the full ad. They could have put some real like hardcore shit in there, and the freaks in New York I woke them up, and they were just like they were ready to.
Or it was the right message board.
Yeah, dude. He was in those one of those ICR rooms, and that was it.
Yeah, and then eventually Dade kills him in accounting. And he's just like, sir, you inquired about one of our officers. Our records show he's deceased. And then we go, and apparently they're keeping score. I don't know how they're scoring this because we see 6 hacks total, I guess. The score is 60-60. And I was like, who's scoring that? And he only got 1 point for killing him.
That is weird.
I was like, what? Make that gap lower. It should have been like the big comeback from behind.
Dude, they should have dismantled this guy. They should have took him apart. They should have made his wife leave him. They should have made his car blow up. Well, no, he was going on
dates. Like that first one was a date. Like he was trying to date.
I see.
Because she shook her head like fucking poor
I thought that was just his wife, just real disappointed in what she married.
What do you mean our credit cards declined?
Yeah.
First of all, why can't we just pay for the bill with money? Why are we putting things on credit, motherfucker? Huh?
It was the 90s,
He's like,
man.
90s and it's New York.
He had those reward points. He spent it on food. He got more back.
Yeah. He was, I mean, it was a gold card in the 90s, so.
Yeah, he was playing the system.
And then the system played him.
Mm-hmm.
And and in the meantime, I believe that it's right about at this, because Joey's about to get ungrounded, but then the Secret Service pulls up dirt on Dade. And
dirt on Dade. There was like
dirt on Dade. And the Plague and the Secret Service go to... They're just in his apartment. He unlocks his door, and Enrique... No, wait. Which one? Mark Anthony's just...
Enrique Iglesias kicks that fucker in.
That's the thing, is I'm pretty sure they both dated her or something, or maybe, I don't know.
Who
whatever.
wouldn't?
He's like, get in here, motherfucker. He's like, whoa, whoa. He tries to back up. There's another guy. And
there's no warrant. There's no nothing. Like, nothing these guys do is legal. Nothing.
I mean, he's technically 18 because he couldn't have a computer otherwise. But
yeah, dude. But they can't. You can't just kick at a motherfucker's door. He hasn't done anything.
He may have planted a virus, Kevin. So
dude,
actually, I think I don't even know when this part of the movie happened, but whatever.
This was towards the end, right? Because they've already tried to arrest. Jesus Christ! Arrest.
Why are you trying to arrest me, sir?
Wascally Wabbit. Must be the
Wabbit. I was on your computer. I saw your internet pornography.
You were trying to hack your Bologna.
You were hacking your bologna. But it's this small. It's like,
I get it. I got a baby weeder, dog.
All right. I mean, I don't need these insults. What are you here for? And he's just like, you work with me. Give me this disc thing.
No, dude, you totally missed it. Like, Wildman gets chased first. Remember, they're after him, and he's just like, I put it in that place where I put the thing.
Well, yeah, they arrest him. Yeah. Oh, he goes to meet with Joey because Joey gets on house arrest, and Joey gives him the disc.
And Joey goes exactly to the fountain where the guys are sitting.
Yeah, he's got like the biggest camera, and this woman's sitting between the two of them. She's just like, "Hey, what's up? Are you Mark Anthony?" Like,
yeah, she was super cute too. She had her little,
she was part of it, but then they ran away. She was just like, "Huh."
I thought she was part of him too. I was like, oh, they got this bohemian cop just sitting there with her like headband on and shit. Joey walks right in front of the fucking camera. He starts talking about criminal shit.
Dude, I fucking hacked him. You know that bank I hacked first and foremost? Did you remember that?
Remember that time I killed a man?
I did that as fucking Master Penis Head. Okay, but then I changed my handle when I did this other one, and now I'm just thumb up the butt, man. And so this disc is hot. They're just like, got that all on.
And then
fucking
Wildman's like, hey, dude, those are cops right there. We better focus. Skedaddle.
Oh, we got a bail. And then, so then Freak hides the disc, and then he has he starts going through and like destroying all his hacking shit. I was like, damn, he spent a lot of money on paper in the 90s. Like,
dude, he ripped up this dot matrix paper like down the middle. I was like, dude, they can still tell.
I was just like, think they'll figure it out. Like, do you have a better system for this?
Like, if you want to do that, just like, I would have believed it if he went to the like fire escape and had like a trash can, just started a little fire, just started throwing it all in there, like real desperate. But I was just like,
or show him up on the roof, like to go to the roof and do it, you know?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Put it in the tub, burn it. I don't give a fuck.
Instead, he was just like, scribble, scribble, rip, 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 done.
Yeah, I was like,
and then he goes to, he lays down in bed, and then the feds bust him, and then boom, it's a dream. And then his mom comes in, and she's like, wake up, you fuck. And she opens the curtains, and then there's just like, boom, no rock made, motherfucker.
He gets swatted.
Yeah, he gets swatted. And the best part is his mom is so pissed off. She's just beating him and yelling at him in Spanish. And he's just like, fucking arrest me already.
Yeah. The problem with this is a lot of the characters get these weird dream sequence things.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even covered the other.
There's 3 to 4 of them. And like dad gets one, fucking Kate Libby
gets one where he thinks about Kate in a dress, and no, she comes in, and that's actually when you get to see her tits. Is she comes in, they start making out, but then they're arrested in a really weirdly like music video choreographed way.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets one where she pictures Dade in
latex
leather,
or something.
some latex like
crotchless number.
Yeah, it was weird. And she's like rubbing the crotch area, and you're just like,
she's ready. She's a freak.
And you're like, and then it's revealed that it's Johnny Lee Miller, and you're like, oh,
who was that, dude? It's either Dad, Dade, or Papa Murphy. No one knows.
It's fucking Dade, okay? Listen, and you're just like, oh, where was his penis?
The audience can only take half of your bullshit.
And then she wakes up and she's like, oh,
dude, she's sweating, dude. She was.
So, and those are only 3 dream sequences. So yeah, and so Freak gets arrested, and then he knows how to hack a locked police payphone, and he calls Kate
and just hangs up.
A lawyer.
He doesn't hack anything. He just hangs up a bunch of times and tells the operator he can't work the phone.
It was but it was kind of like, ooh, look, that's how you do it, guys. You can get more than one phone call in the police station. Which was weird because they're just like, you get 30 seconds of that phone call, buddy. Hope it was to a good attorney. I don't know. But yeah, and then so Kate goes and gets the disc.
He says that he's like, you get one phone call, and then he tries to say it in Spanish, and I was like, dude, like, he speaks English. That's racist.
I mean, he didn't answer him, so he was probably just.
I wouldn't answer him too, but like, fuck the police.
Yeah, I'm a hacker. Dork. Fucking hacking plan. I'm gonna hack your social security number. Put it in that LifeLock commercial. People will be fucking you over. Yeah, and so then Kate gets it. It's a really long scene of her like reaching behind a condom machine for like 5 minutes trying to find it.
And there's like the whole school of boys just watching.
And they're all sitting there just like, who's she gonna bang right here on the floor?
Yeah, is she gonna use that condom on me?
I hope so, because I am not leaving until I find out. It's super weird. You're just like, man, this is a little rapey. Like, weird.
Dude, it was real like paywall, and I'm like, man.
Like, check out my OnlyFans, guys. This condom a tease. They're like, oh. And then so her and Serial go to Dade's apartment, and his mom's been threatened by the plague at some point. And they're like, hey, can you just make a copy? And he's like, I can't. And she's like, hey, I know we've been having fun and games and all, but I thought we were on the same side, like the same righteous hacker side. And he's just like, I can't do it.
He's like, dude, if I get caught huffing glue again, no college.
No college. My mom will give up on me, possibly. And I don't realize that computers are going to rule the planet, and not going to college would not stop me from being a billionaire.
And here's another thing, in all seriousness, it's like, this is the first time our main character has anything happen to him, right?
Yeah.
his choice, his struggle, his, we're almost at a movie, right? So you're like, okay, maybe, Dade's like, hey, I want to kind of, follow. My mom bailed me out. She's kept me on the straight and narrow. I want to do right by her. I want to get a college, application going on. I want to get a good job. I want to do all these things she wants me to do because I want to pay it back to her because she's done so much for me. And you're like, cool, maybe that's it. But he doesn't say that. So
Kevin gave him way more mental thought than the people.
I had to say it for him. I just had to think like, is this what he wants?
You just have to assume all that because Mama's boy, he picked Mama.
The movie won't tell you that. And I mean, there's another moment where she's sleeping on the couch and he kind of tucks her in and just like he tries to show
before he betrays his friend. So
yeah, he's trying to show like, I care about my mom. My mom's the most important. My friends are my friends.
Don't do right by my mama.
So. There's some sort of hacker's credo. They'll get it because I have no friends. The cyberspace, my friends. You ever see The Lawnmower Man? Whatever their fucking credo was.
Did you? Because that guy killed people with computers. He was also Max Headroom. Do the math. The man likes machines.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, because like basically like the plague it's like threatening to alter his mom's like criminal record, or like give her a criminal record and then put it back to where she's just lost in the system, which
exactly. So
actually probably very scary, even in the 90s. And so, he makes a copy of the disc and he gives it to the plague and he says, just leave Kate out of this. They don't even know what they have. Like they just, it's just, this shit's just being passed on from person to person. He's just
no,
like,
dude.
give me the disc.
Hold on.
You're missing probably one of the most monumental scenes in, I guess, cinema's history.
I mean, I was going in direct order, but okay, yeah.
We're just gonna get him there. He's made the copy, right? He's made the deal with the plague. This is gonna put Mom doing the safety dance. He's possibly betrayed his hacker friends and everything they stand for.
That he was gonna go meet them. Yeah.
He goes to meet the plague to give him the disc.
Yeah, that's the part I was literally at.
This is for me.
Okay, I wasn't going to skip this part, but
he's in God knows where, USA.
He's not anywhere near his home.
I don't know where. He's in an industrial area
because he's sent laptops and been there before. He goes to like Queens. He's like, I'll meet you in Queens.
This is like, I was like, is there an oil refinery that he's inside right now? And there's this dark road. And this car just comes. He's maybe going.
You think I was gonna skip this part when he shows up to get the disc? You think after you watch Dade at like 13 different places being superimposed on top of each other while he waits an hour and a half in the dark?
They literally.
I was gonna forget the part where the plague shows up with a limousine. Go ahead, Kevin. Take over.
It's like, yeah, there's such time lapse over Dade, like they just dissolve him over the same shot over and over. That's how long he makes him wait.
Why? Just cut to him showing up for the disc. No one cares.
The director has no respect for your time.
He doesn't.
He's padding this runtime. It's disgusting.
He did, especially with all that stupid slow motion in the beginning.
Such an asshole move.
And the ending, but I'll save that for last.
In another part, now that I'm thinking about it, this is the best scene in the whole movie. This whole movie, it's lit like a goddamn soap opera. It's got this soft light sources. Everyone's real soft looking. They're not. It's almost like it's a soft focus. The lighting's soft.
They were trying to make them look younger.
And there's this.
You 40-year-olds fucking getting the soft light,
dude. And then there's this harsh light that cuts on their faces. Or there's a part where serial killer and Nikon are like listening to a reel-to-reel machine as they're trying to like buck back the system. Yeah. I'm like, is this a 1940s fucking movie? There's a central light over the reel-to-reel tape deck, and they're just kind of looking at it. There's always these try-hard fucking lighting. God.
Well, it's like the director he's a fan of a lot of things, and I think that's what those like TV cuts in the head were kind of like his fandom. But I just don't think he grasped how to use that properly.
Yeah, it's so out of place where this. And another thing about the movie, it felt really claustrophobic to me. Like I felt like everything was pushed in too much. Like
like Dade's room feels like it's 3 feet big.
Yeah,
and like, why'd you film this like this? What the fuck?
Medium shots feel like close-ups. Like the camera doesn't let anything breathe. There's hardly no wide shots. Like we're so on top of the characters. I feel like a lot of the times it's fucking annoying. And it really fucked me up for like the first 35 minutes of the movie. Like I literally I was like, shit, this lighting and being on top of everyone, I can't breathe. This is fucking annoying. And then I was like, all right, I'm just over it because we finally see Dade. He looks over and I think it's a limo.
It's definitely a limo. It's a gold limo.
All this street magical fog from like the sewers or something, and these headlights come out of it, and it's the plague with the limo. And when I say with the limo, he's like skitching.
He's fucking Back to the Futuring it.
Like they call it. I don't know if they still call it skitching. Is when you take your skateboard and you hold onto a vehicle and it just drags you. But this car is going like 10 miles an hour. It's slow and it sucks. And then he, like almost as he read his mind, Dade holds up this yellow 3.5 fucking disc, and this plays
he holds up the save icon to the younger generation.
He does, and the plague grabs the disc. He's like, "Eat a dick, motherfucker!"
He doesn't know. That's the best part. The plague doesn't say anything.
He doesn't.
They don't say these two. Like the plague never shuts up, and then Dade always has something witty to say back to him. These two fuckers don't say anything to each other. And then he fucking drives off into the fucking fog, and then Dade decides he's gonna run after this car.
And he almost catches it. He runs
until the fog, and then they're like, just go to the fog and stop.
And you see like the steam in the fog, and then you barely see the car turn the corner, and Dade's almost got it. I was like, bro, is he supposed to catch it? And the fucking director's like, no, slow down, dude. You're too fast. The car can only go 10 miles an hour. He's like,
good on the skateboard, please.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid that it's so great and so
exactly. It's so great because you're just like, why? That's why the Plague is the best villain in the entire fucking movie.
He's the only villain.
No, I mean Dill's
he's an inconvenience, is what he is.
Yeah, he kind of is.
So, him and his door kicking SWAT boys, but like it's literally hackers. That scene is hackers as a nutshell. Like, if it was my movie, that's my trailer. They're be like, what was
just that scene? They're like, what the fuck? Hackers. And they're like, okay, I'll see it.
The second he took the disc, I would make like an explosion light show and be like, you like fucking techno music? Yeah, you like fucking hacking. Are you elite? You like hacking the fucking planet? Hackers.
Oh, we should mention that there is a countdown of 7 days until these oil tankers capsize. It's been like 15.
Listen, there's also a scene where the Plague girlfriend, she's on the board of this thing that they're going to fucking extort all this money.
She's PR. And she's in one of the top positions of the company.
There's a scene just basically in the finale where she's asking what's going on. What's happening? What is that? I was like, she's asking for me because I don't know what the fuck is going on.
She is. She's the audience in the movie going, what is that? Gibson banana coconut cookie. And it's just like, somebody speaking
gibberish.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. She's going, what in the monkey fucking?
She's still ADR'd.
She's like, I've never. I had no lines in the movie.
In that room.
I don't know.
We whispering, what the fuck?
She's like, the computers were so loud in that scene, we had to just plug it all in after.
You know, those were just light boxes, right? There was a goddamn computer in there.
Dude, but that was my whole feeling the whole time. I was like, she's asking for a friend, and that friend is me. What's going on, movie?
Yeah. So we have this timeline. So Dade shows up. He's trying to tell them very poorly because he only tries for about 30 seconds that he's given them up, that he's given the disc. And they're like, look at this file. It's incomplete. We're trying to figure it out.
Oh, wait a minute, dude. You got to go back. We never finished the date thing where he was like, to ruin Gil's life. And he's like, all right, what's it to? And he's like, oh, it's a tie game. You guys have both just wrecked this guy. And he's like, well, this is going to be the make or break, this last thing. He's like, what do you get if you win? He's like, a date with you in a dress. And she's like, ditto, you in a dress. That's the rule. And I was like, just fuck already. Just do it. I don't know where your boyfriend is. I haven't seen him for 15 days.
He left when she started talking about computers, okay? When she started hanging out with the seedy underground of the hacker society of
I don't blame him. He's like, you guys just smell like you smell like fucking can air and Pringles. I'm fucking out.
And Jolt. Who spilled Jolt on themselves? And Joey's like, I always spill Jolt on myself.
It pumps through my veins, motherfucker.
Yeah. No, he was just like, listen, I've banged a lot of high schoolers, but I think I'm going to move on. And they're like, what? Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we see this like 4-day montage of Dade hacking nonstop. This is the worst. This is honestly the worst scene. The scene always bothered me. He does all this hacking. Okay. Just him.
Dude,
okay.
No, like they go back to Nikon's place and
they're at her place.
I thought it's Nikon's because the second time it's Nikon. Is that her room?
That's her room.
Oh, wow.
They're at her room the entire time.
So, like, she has no, like, parental authorities. But
no, her mom's a fucking self-help writer who doesn't need she doesn't need a child. She's trying to help
you?
Yeah.
When are you going to be Angelina Jolie?
Move the fuck. Sold $2 million. I was just like, what the fuck? Who gives a fuck? Oh, yeah, we skipped the part where he's in the classroom with her and they're writing shitty quotes for some reason to introduce themselves. Write a quote of someone else of prestige on the chalkboard, and that'll tell me everything about you. It's like,
it's just his sass hacking. The thing is, like, he treats Kate, Dad treats Kate like a little kid that likes the girl. He just hits her. I like her and I hit her and I hurt her. And you're like, dude, you talk to her like shit. You try
He's
to do
emotionally stunted.
He's an emotionally
and it does not get any better. We'll get to it. Kevin,
he's an emotional void. Is what he is. Like, but the thing is, dude, that's okay. If that was his character, I'm like, hey man, this guy
is his character though.
If this guy's socially pugnant, but he's a hacking machine. But we don't get any of that. He just comes off like a dickhead. It's not like Wildman's just like, hey man, like he really can only talk to computers, but he really likes girls. But when he tries to talk to girls, he just kind of jizzes his pants and falls over.
Jizzes his pants and starts putting a thumb up his butt. I don't know. He's real into that. He says it just helps the prostate or something.
And serial killer
he says don't knock until you try it.
Serial killer? How come he's not walking around eating cereal half the time?
I know, he never eats any cereal. It's like
he should have had the little fucking travel ones where you rip the side of the box open and just pour milks like in the school. I wouldn't have.
It was a poorly thought out gimmick.
It sucked. Like if he would have been that character and then all his hacking and his hackathons with his crew.
Kevin, he never hacks though. Never.
I know, dude. He sucks.
He never fucking hacks. He doesn't even touch a computer. But like he does not hack. Like, all right, hold on. All right, we gotta get to this. This is my favorite scene. This is my favorite scene.
Fine.
He's done like 4 days of hacking
in a row.
He has not left. He was like, "I'll show you, Korea. This is how you die at a computer."
Okay? Everybody's like, "Too soon."
Like, whoa. I mean, is it? But no,
dude. Are you hacking or are you just playing WoW?
Fucking WoW for days until I die. I can't fucking eat, sleep, nothing.
It's minimized. He's playing StarCraft at the same time. He truly is elite.
He is elite. He is the most elitist of the elite. He is the uber elite. And then he's done all this. He's like, it's not a virus, it's a worm. And then everyone in the room takes a turn saying what this thing is by looking at paper and stuff. And I was like,
well, what they do is they explain it to the audience. They explain it to the audience.
Why would they fucking know? That was his moment to shine, to say,
oh, no, yeah, they decap him real quick.
No, they decap him. Even Serial he's like, it's stealing about 25 million. I was like, oh, okay, so Serial over there, he's a fucking math whiz all of a sudden?
He's like an idiot savant, like Rain Man and shit. Yeah. Like, he was like, oh, the worm eats the computer eats the millions, and the 25 million.
The puke mixtape, all of a sudden he knows how many fucking cents a day they're stealing and what it equates to. Okay, yeah. Sure.
I was just like, is this off? Is this the... He just eats cereal.
And then that's the first time he's just like...
And he just puts it down. He's like, this is just like Office Space. You got to move the fucking decimal point over, and now you've stolen everything.
Yeah, well, now you know where Office Space got that, so...
Yeah, I think it's kind of a common hack, bro.
Everyone's familiar with the worm virus that steals the cents off of transactions.
It would even been better.
I mean, you haven't done that. That's how I paid for college. Okay, everyone does it.
If serial killer was eat cereal, then he did the worm. Why he explained the worm?
He's like this. They're just like, I don't think.
I know serial killer. The dance on the floor, not whatever your tongue was doing.
Yeah. So they figure out what it is. And they figure out that they're being like, they're going to be set up, and
Dade fall for him.
Yeah, Dade lets him know. They're like, who would do this? And he's like, I know who it is. And he's all super excited. And I was like, you do realize you're about to reveal that you
how stupid you are. You fucked the whole group. Because the worm is basically hidden inside this program. What was it? The Da Vinci.
Yeah. No. They're two separate things. The virus is covering up for
Da Vinci, right?
Yeah. The Da Vinci virus is covering up for the worm, and the garbage worm, basically.
Yeah.
And so he reveals it, and they're like, dude, why would you do that? That's fucking real amateur. You're not elite. You're definitely not playing StarCraft and WoW at the same time. And he's just like, I got a record. I was zero cool.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, and then Nikon's like, photographic memory. Here's where my photographic memory is not going to make sense, because I'm going to quote the front page of this news article, and I'm going to say, I thought you were black. And I was like, how does your photographic memory not remember that fucking like picture? This. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't remember shit, do you?
Yeah, and so it's revealed Dade is their elite Jesus. He came before all of them or something.
Mm-hmm.
And this is his second coming.
He hacked like this so they could hack like that.
Take this keyboard.
Memes.
Hack as if it were my body and you were touching my tickle spots. And they're just like, okay, weird. Take a drink of the Jolt Cola. This is my lifeblood. And so, yeah, they're just like, okay, let's go get the worm and save Joey and Freak. And then there's just like a really annoying long montage of them like dumpster diving, Kate firing a flare gun, not photographic memory guy being photographically memorizing really shitty passwords like Kermit and other shit. I don't even know why they needed these passwords, but they have them.
This is another part where I was just the girlfriend in the dress. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, and then the plague just skateboards to the same floor, and he knows who they were hanging out with, so I don't even know why he was like, arrest that guy. Why is he here? They just look at each other weird, and I was just like, what was that?
Yeah, because he notices Nikon, and
Nikon notices him. They're just like, they're like fucking Highlander. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, I see you dabble with the keyboard. There could be only one.
I respect your hacker game.
They just played a typing game. Whoever fucking misses first.
Well, they can't battle in real life. They can only battle in cyberspace, which is another opportunity wasted on this movie.
Oh,
like, dude, what I would do with this movie.
I think the director hadn't seen Tron yet, and if he had,
I think he did see Tron with all this fucking cutting to fucking blocks and lights and blue computer shit. I was like, bro, we get it. You got to move.
Computers are blue. No one likes the orange light. Okay, we like the soft, cool light. Now you want to talk about lighting, buddy? He's like,
fucking lighting. I would have you could do this. I would make this movie today exactly how it's made visually right now. I'd have them dressed like this. I'd have them, just different variations of it. I'll even keep their fucking names, but I would make them just so.
Dade.
Yeah, I'd call him Dad though, and I'd have some character just be me, basically, just making fun of.
He's called Zero Cool Dad.
Yeah, because now we're following his kids.
He's like, don't do anything I wouldn't do. They're just like, shut up, Dad. You fucking ruined the stock market.
Shut up, Dad. We saw you in the first movie. You're a pussy.
You're a fucking pussy. You don't even talk that much.
You couldn't even.
I was working on my English accent. Shut up.
You couldn't even score with Mom.
He's like, I tried. Actually, we dated for a little bit after this, but you know how that went. They're like, we don't.
You guys were conceived in cyberspace.
You're my cyber babies. It just cuts to him in a chair with like a device on his crotch, and he's just like doing VR, and he's just like
cyber
fucking
cyber penis pump on his dong, and
that's just for when he has to tinkle. So
that's where it is everything.
Yeah,
just do it but keep it hokey like this, and like I said, you just do like the computer parts, them inside the computer, a real fucking Futurama style. Remember when they did that? Everyone thought that was funny. You know what I mean? That's how you present it. And it's going to be like cool, but you don't try to make it corny. You treat it serious. And that's another thing about this movie. It took itself dead ass serious. Like it was,
never once. Like, I'm sure the director's offended that they put comedy on this. They're like, no, those are just life moments. You weren't supposed to laugh at those.
There was no comedy in this. Like, I think there was humorous, lighthearted moments, but I didn't laugh at anything.
Yeah. So Zero Cool, as he's now reborn as, he says, I will hack the Gibson. And they're like, they'll get you in 10 minutes. And she's like, never send a boy to do a woman's job. If I help, it's 7 minutes. And I was like, weird that you're only going to shave 3 minutes off, but okay. And then I
don't know, man. We're gonna need hackers from all over the world.
If I do it, we'll do it in 6 minutes. And then Icon's like, I gotta save all your asses. We could do it in 5. And so then they're like, we need some more elite hackers. So they go get the TV show guys.
Lightning Twins or something?
Yeah, it's so long and pointless.
It's fucking
and she yells at him for him getting lost from her. She's like, where were you? I was like, Yeah, I don't know, man. He was stage diving and shit.
He goes to like this like they're at this like rave party type like underground thing.
Yeah, it's like rave music, but then it switches to like rock music, and I was like,
this new metal band like Urban Dance Squad. They're playing their single "Good Grief." You can get that on Hackers. Their only crime was Curiosity motion picture soundtrack, Volume 1.
Volume 1. Volume 2 never got released.
There's 3 volumes, so it did.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Is there seriously?
I'm not fucking joking. I don't ever joke about volumes. So like,
I want them.
For whatever reason, like the 2 guys are on the stage because I assume they're introducing the band, and then the band starts playing, and then the crowd gets rowdy, and they start pitting and shit. And then he tries to like get on the stage, and then they think he's stage diving, so he stage dives. It's really it's a real fucking waka. Maybe this is the comedy part.
I don't know. It's weird, and then they're just at their lair.
Well, yeah, like the 2 twin hacker guys or whatever, like the Billy and Jimmy.
Asian. They're not fucking twins.
No, they kind of have like a gimmick going on. Like they're wearing this like kabuki type mask, paint, face paint.
One of them.
Maybe they're just both eccentric.
They're both wearing makeup. Okay.
Yeah. And they meet them, and they're just like, "Hey, we're trying to hack the planet," and they're just like, "Hey, man, we're trying to like just do a TV show. You guys are living the life. We're trying to capitalize on the life." And they're just like,
it's so weird that they needed these 2 guys to say, "Why don't you post on the internet that you need more hackers?" Well, because that's all this is there for. Is just that it's to help them get more hackers.
It's to show that our main characters are beyond stupid.
Yeah,
and you're just like
genius level IQ guy couldn't think of, well, when we added her, the time went down. When we added him, the time went down. Well, why don't we just keep adding people?
Yeah, they literally announced it to the audience. Of like, hey, the more of us, the faster it goes. And then the audience was like everything else.
Like everything else in the world, you say. And so they launched their attack.
Razor and Blade, that was their name.
Razor and Blade, yes.
That's what I was
thinking. Blade actually went on to do more acting. Razor, not so much. And then so now they're going to Grand Central Station. They bug the Secret Service's desk. You get to see Matthew Lillard's ass.
Really weird. Like I was like,
really weird. Like he was deep under there too, and
I was like, is he blowing her?
And I was like, what was he doing? It was very awkward.
Like he comes out face forward, like he was munching.
She's
the rug.
In a skirt. Yeah,
that's what I thought, dude. I was like, this movie just got a hard R.
It's weird. It's a weird
hard R.
Yeah, but then you just see. Matthew Lillard's ass, and you're like, okay.
And then you're like, there's that hard R again.
Yeah, and so fucking DePlague's like, hey, those hackers are in our computer. I want them arrested. And so they have their warrant issued, and now somehow the magical 7 days of the Vinci Virus are about to wrap up that morning.
In like 2 hours.
In 2 hours, but it's been like a month and a half in this movie.
But they got to hurry because we're going to get arrested at any minute.
So they go to Grand Central Station.
Was that to confuse the location possibly of the multiple phones?
No, it was just to say Grand Central.
It's just a cool.
Because they knew it was big and
cool location.
Yeah, it'd be hard to navigate.
And there's a real terrible crane shot in here. That's just like Jesus Christ.
I mean, there's bad shots.
Well, it's basically when they blitz it with their fucking SWAT team. They make them run down the stairs, and he holds the shot. And then you got to watch them walk around back into the shot as they continue to run down the stairs. I was like, Jesus Christ, will you please push in and cut on something?
He's like, I'm just padding my runtime, okay? Studio said $1.45. I'm giving them $1.45, okay?
Like the first half of this movie,
shitty. I'm giving as much footage as I can to work with.
Dude, like
he's like, there's a whole subplot with Joey I cut out.
I believe it because I felt like that just stopped happening.
Yeah.
Like you shove the camera up everybody's ass for the first 45 minutes, and now you can't get near them. What's going on?
Yeah, and it should be noted that Joey does not get rearrested by the police or the Secret Service that were surveilling him, but Freak does. And so Joey shows up. He's been included in this plan for some reason, and then they're about to start, and Serial. Oh, and Dade programmed some lights to go off so they could get away from the cops, and it's whatever. And so they're about to go, and then Matthew Lillard just like, boom, 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 He starts freaking out, and then
What?
and remember he freaks out, and then Kate's like, "Go fix the phones. You're done. You're off the team." And they're like, "Joey, take his position." And I was like, "Why isn't Joey just re-hacking what he already hacked since he did it?"
Just save your
Why
progress,
is Dave
Joey.
taking the lead on this?
Because they forgot that he was the main fucking character.
Yeah, it was almost like it was rewritten. Like Joey was supposed to be our main character. That would make sense. Joey's the main character, but then they fell in love with, like, Dade and fucking Kate, because it's actually a love story between the two of those two.
The movie's not written for him. Like, they try to do their best to make this an ensemble, but they don't really tell you anything about anyone else. The only person that really gets any more character development, it's kind of the Joey. Joey's the only one that has, like,
we meet his mom. We see how he lives.
Yeah, he's battling a computer addiction allegedly. He's smoking. Like he's searching,
smoking, coffee drinking.
He's searching to fit
pretty sure
in.
He's got porn. Just anything he could be addicted to at a young age. He's doing it.
Yeah, man. He's just looking for acceptance in any way, and that's like he's kind of the only character. But like Serial shits his pants for whatever reason. Like he just has performance anxiety.
Well, he has to be out so they can use him later, basically.
Which is yeah, crazy story there. And then
it doesn't make any sense, but yeah,
it's just like he should have just been like, hey man, just eat some cereal and calm down. Maybe he could like rip open. I would have been like, oh, I get it.
Just rip open, pour some fucking Frosted Flakes in his mouth. Calm down, come on.
Yeah.
Just massaging his neck so he swallows it. They're just like, come on, eat it. He's like,
eats it out of a fucking hat. I don't give a shit.
Like they got a horse feed bag for him. They're just like, put this on.
Everyone just Power Rangers up and just breaks out their fucking laptops and hooks it up with their cool logos.
Whatever. Their custom loading screen, all of them. I was like, what the fuck?
Their custom loading screen,
annoying and hard to do.
But Dad takes it to another level and he pops on the R zone. So I want everyone just Google the R zone and you'll be like, yeah, that's totally what he's wearing.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, why is he wearing? Like, even as a kid, I was just like, why the fuck's he wearing that? That's not how you use that.
That's not.
I was like, where's the little red screen? How come the little red screen's not turned on? Does Nintendo know this?
I was like,
they do.
I was like, he's got the Tiger Electronics R zone on his head, and
was the Tiger one. It was
it's Tiger. Yeah, real bullshit, real piece of shit. And I was like, well, whatever it takes him to get through this hack.
That's to show how elite he was.
Yeah, dude.
Pirate eyepiece.
Fucking. He looked like an asshole.
And then Dade is just like searching through garbage files. And the shot for this is terrible because it goes through this, like, it simulates basically a server tower, and it's horrible. It's so horrible.
It's really bad. And it's just, this is the part where I feel like as an audience member of watching their journey, you're kind of tired of all this hacking bullshit, right?
Yeah. It's the first time you're going to see some hacking. Yeah, they're doing viruses, and it's just so dumb because the plague shows up, and they do a Cookie Monster virus, and it's like cookie, and the Cookie Monster's eating. He's like, he's eating the data. Like, this is Penn, actually. I gave it too much inflection. He's like, he's eating the data, and he's like, type cookie, and I guess someone types cookie because it goes away, and then he's just like, there's a rabbit.
Just to be clear, like the plague is at this the supercomputer, right? Yeah. The Gibson, and the plague has sent
going for the kernel.
Right. He's in cahoots with Gil, of course, because they're trying to just basically work together in this weird buffoonery bad guy way. So Gil and his no-knock SWAT homies are just basically raiding Grand Central Station to kind of catch him in the act, right?
Yeah.
And while we're having
played.
Right, we're having a hack off between the team and fucking the plague.
Yeah.
And then buffoonery happens. You just see everyone attack with their special move and shit.
And they're getting their asses lit up like bad. And then the world hacks them.
Yeah. Instead of hacking the world's like, we got your back, fellow hackers. All you had to do, we were a hack away.
Yeah.
It's like Smurfs.
We just start going. Yeah, it's a Smurf. So it's always the Smurfs,
It's always this, so instead of everything, they just use the word hack instead of Smurf. They go, you just go.
You got any more hack left? We're at hack. God damn it! Why you always hack and ask me about the hack? Huh?
That's all they do in this movie. Just go hack each other.
Hey, you hacking today or am I hacking today? You know we hack every hack.
Hey, I'm hacking over here.
Hey, shut up, I'm hacking over here. Some of us are trying to get some hack on.
Yeah, where's the real New Yorkers? I didn't hear one New Yorker in this whole movie. Hey, over here, I'm freaking hacking and shit.
Yeah, especially for as many of the student body that apparently lived there their entire life and were not killed on the streets. They were just allowed. They just like owned the streets. They were like, I got rollerblades. I could go anywhere.
It's New York, not Bolivia.
So I'm saying they were just like rollerblading everywhere down the middle of anything.
Yeah, dude, it's not Charles Bronson's New York. It's
I mean, it could be.
Yeah, there's that weird rollerblading scene where they hack the planet. Is that happens next, right?
No, we already covered that. Yeah, when they're on their way to Grand Central,
and I was like
rollerblading down the road.
When I read that they took classes to rollerblade, watch these motherfuckers rollerblade. Everyone's very very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like for the first time. Yeah, you don't believe that they actually like. I guess it was like a weekend for like a couple hours. They were like, right, we're gonna hang out and like rollerblade to Coney Island, I guess.
I was like,
and
why?
Then disappointed. And then rollerblade back.
I was like, hey man, do what we call in the industry a long shot or maybe even a wide. You don't have to be up their asses, and you can use stunt doubles. You can just have somebody that can really, sketch it in there. And
like, no stunt doubles. I wanted to.
Yeah. And I was like, they all look so uncomfortable. There's scenes that it's shot. He does use doubles on when they're cutting around the fountain and hit the stairs. But I was watching this very closely because when you first see them, they skate towards the camera, and I've never seen people so terrified.
I'm gonna fucking ruin this studio's camera. I'm never gonna work again.
I was like, oh man, I felt bad for these guys trying to skate, and they're
like, is anyone gonna catch me? They're like, no.
Nah, man, you're street pizza. That's all you're gonna do. Just eat it.
You're not gonna jump out of the way, are you? Oh, probably. This is a very expensive piece of equipment.
Yeah, and I was just like, man, these I would say kids, but no one's a kid in this. And I was like, fuck.
These, young 20-somethings.
Yeah.
So, the world hackers show up. We go around the world, see that hackers dress like dicks everywhere.
Russia, Japan,
Frenchman. He's just in like a trench coat, or no, the Englishman. He's just like, yeah, man, let's fucking do it. You're just like,
whoa, where was he from?
I know he was from England, but that's what he sounded like. So
I don't remember any dialogue. I just remember
the weird thing, Kevin. He's the only one. He's the only one. He's like, yeah, let's do it. Everyone else is just like, you see their mouths move and
Japan,
I think
in the Japanese, she says something in Japanese.
Yeah, the Japanese woman.
They don't translate it, so I assume it can't be important because why would a movie have a character say something that I should not know?
They did my hair like an asshole. Let's do this. So
yeah. And look at the lighting when they go to each location.
You don't
Japanese
even
one. It's just like,
is this happening in the daytime everywhere? I'm so confused. Like, is it day everywhere?
God, it just like, and I know I'm weird. I'm just watching. I was like, who lit this? Who fucking lit this? Is it the guy that's been lighting the whole movie?
They're like, nah, we kept trying different people, you gotta explore your options, okay? No stunt doubles, different lighting people.
Fucking poor bastards.
So they take it on. Dade finds a file, and then the plague is watching the file, so he kicks him off instantly. So Joey's the only one. Apparently, they don't have time to reconnect or something. I don't know. I don't know how their internet works. They're just booted and done. And so he's like, Joey, I need you to drop your virus and go to this. And then he very condescendingly tells the only person who hasn't been kicked out the file that he already found previously and where it's located. They copy it, and it's lightning fast for the first time ever.
Well, yeah, he was on the good line. He was on his mom was just trying to make a fucking QVC call. He was down.
Like, Joey, I'm trying to get some Spankies. Get off the goddamn phone.
Damn, Spanx in 1995.
He's like, hey, mama, I'm just trying to get my hack on. Hacks a lot. You hung up my shit.
Aren't we all, Joey? Aren't we all?
You think mama's trying to buy Spankies because she's not trying to get her hack on?
Mama trying to get her dick on. Mama needs some dick.
I'm trying to lay it down. You want to do dad or not? Huh?
Because Mama needs to do daddy.
Okay, brother.
Everybody's just like, Jesus, mom got real graphic.
Yeah. His mom was also like 5 years older than him or something. They were just like, put these stupid glasses on and a ponytail, and now you're fucking 50 years older.
Now you're milfing.
Yeah, now you're milfing.
Yeah, that was the part where I was just like, is this his time to shine? Like, is he going to step up? No, guys, I'm not the little turd you know anymore. I'm coming to my own. I'm a master hacker. Call me the executioner. And he just blows up a nuclear refinery or something. Like, I thought this was...
you just see ATMs all over the world just spitting out money. He's like, what were we doing the whole time? That's what I was doing. They're just like, fucking hell, Joey.
He's like, hold on, guys. I've been working on something. He launches Skynet. Just like,
he launches Skynet, but he's also like inventing Tesla at the same time. He's just like,
he puts on his shit.
The fucking
he's like,
asshole.
Deal with it. And he's like, they're like, damn. He's like, that's what we call a meme.
We don't even get this guy yet. Hackers 2 is just about that, getting that meme. They're just like, oh shit,
dude. They find out Joey's from the future. You gotta hack the future now instead of the planet.
Hack the future.
And he's like,
guys, is hackers too. They better make it.
He's like, guys, what happened? He was like, that wasn't me. That was Joey from the future. That was evil Joey.
Tied in a closet the whole time.
I was stuck in
fucking cigarettes and donut crumbs.
He said they were donut holes, but I never heard of them. It was so futuristic.
They were crumbs. They were definitely droplets from his mouth. It was disgusting. But I ate it because it was me, so it was kind of okay.
But the movie was just like, yeah, we don't know what to do here, so we could have Joey kind of step up. And
I just didn't like how all of a sudden he copped all this attitude towards Joey, like Joey's an idiot. I was like, dude, you just got booted.
Dude, that's
and you don't even know how to reboot. I don't, like...
That's Dad's whole MO, dude. Dad's rude and mean to everyone. If he likes you, he fucking talks down to you.
Yeah. I see a lot of myself...
That's how you know you're on Dad's good side. Is the way he tries to hit
you. He does like me. Oh, that's when he's in love with you for sure.
Yeah, he broke my nose for getting.
I mean, if he tries to hit you with his car, man, just like forget about it. His heart's about to explode on you.
Yeah, just don't ever let him down.
Yeah, so they get the copy. They're all excited. They're celebrating like assholes. There is I do like the phone booth scene where the phone booths are like spinning around. It's weird and awkward as it is.
It's super fucking stupid. Yeah,
it's stupid, but it's just something about it works. And I almost wish there was more, that than the
that's
dumb
the problem, bro.
That's the hacking server thing that they did. I was like, this sucks. Or the worm. They're like, look at the money we spent on this worm CG.
And all it is,
and it was just like.
No, dude, it's just these stupid screensavers they just put in the background, and they just do some bullshit effect on top of it. I'm like, sucks. This is gross. And I know it goes back to what I said earlier. How do you show hacking and make it interesting? Yeah, you put them on these fucking podiums, and they spin around at 360. It's fucking stupid and it sucks, but it's so fucking hackers. It's so the dude hanging on the back of the car to pick up a 3x3. It's so Dad standing in front of the fucking mirror pulling out 3x5s out of his belt. Yeah. I was like, dude, what are you fucking doing?
What's on those discs, asshole?
What are you doing? Are those viruses you're going to throw across the room and go in a disc like your fucking Gambit? What are you doing?
Yeah, that scene was weird. Always,
it was weird, and I was like, this kid's a loser. None of these kids
Zero Cool is accurate. He's got zero cool to him. So.
Yeah,
11-year-old Dane fucking knew. He's like, I'm gonna grow up to be a loser.
I gotta change my name to Zero Chill and just start being mean to people.
That's why he's called Crash Override. He's just like, I'm gonna fucking crash your fucking network. He's like, you know what, this name doesn't.
I'm gonna fucking. They're like, calm down, dude. Breathe. You can't finish the sentence.
Come on, Crash. Calm down, okay?
Yeah, dude. I was just like, this. That's the thing. It's so hackers to have that rotation, but it's just like, why does the main character such a penis? Like,
and so they get arrested. All of them. They're all brought in.
And, no, man, not one man.
Oh no. Serial survives, and so no one searches Dave. He's got the disc on him. And he throws it, the perfect throw, into a trash can.
Yep.
He sees Serial, and he says, they're trashing our rights. They're trashing our rights. They're trashing trash. He just starts
Take out the trash. Serial, like, your breath smells like trash.
And then Serial who just had a momentary he's also eating pizza, I should mention.
Not cereal. Opportunity wasted.
Yeah. He's eating pizza. Somehow he went and he found pizza. They're fucking doing the hack of their fucking life.
Hack of the planet.
They're getting arrested. He's got the worst, like he's wearing a Mets hat, shitty little linen sunglasses, and pizza. He's just like, I'm a real New Yorker. This Matthew Lillard guy. And so he goes, hack the planet, like he understands, and the police do not arrest him. And they just go, that guy's obviously not associated with them. I mean, he was on our list of people to arrest, but he's wearing a Mets hat. Definitely not a hacker.
Nobody's a Mets fan out here. It's all the Yankees.
No hacker likes the Mets because they see the odds against them. But then he's rummaging through the trash. He finds the disc. And you're like, what will he do? What will he do?
He goes
next time on Hacker.
He goes back to Butcher and the Blade, and he's like, guess what I found?
Yeah, but you can't jump there yet, Kevin, because that spoils it for everyone. Oh. So now we're in the Secret Service headquarters, and Dade, and if you didn't think he was sexist enough, he is in the same interrogation room as Angelina Jolie's character. For whatever reason. And he's like, she knows shit about computers. She's just my girlfriend.
Yeah, man. And her pussy stinks.
Yeah.
Like, what, dude?
Like, I won't even hit it. You hear me?
And I get pussy, man. This guy fucks, but I ain't fucking her.
I fuck around on her all the time. I'm a real piece of shit. They're just like, I don't know. Can you just tell us about the computers, sir? Not your weird fantasy.
This isn't Maury Povich, man. You don't got to like air it out here.
I'm not a therapist, but I definitely feel you need one. It's not something we can provide you. But
damn, Papa Murphy, you really hate women.
Who wrote this? It's so weird. And she's like, "What are you doing other than shitting on my character again?" Mm-hmm. And he's like, "I'm just trying to help." And I was like, they caught all of you.
No, dude. Mama Murphy's outside.
Yeah, Mama Murphy shows up. He clicks a button. He can hear the conversation that they're saying right next to the fucking intercom.
Yeah.
They're just
this is
sir,
like
the press is here. She has some killer lines.
She just tries to roast him a little bit, and then
she's like, my son has a genius level IQ. He understands something here that you will understand for 10 fucking years. Just 10. Not 19, but 10.
He can talk to the robots. He's got to launch a thing called Skynet.
I mean, he does not like women, but we're working on that.
He doesn't respect them.
He's got some weird mom issues.
And then Kate Libby's like, your mom's cool. I
breastfed him way too long. Yeah, she's like, wow. She's amazing. And the most he can muster is like, I guess for a woman.
Yeah.
It's real just like, yeah, whatever.
Wow, your mom's amazing. He's like, yeah, well, her tit milk's lumpy. I didn't like it as a baby. Fuck women.
But when I was 7, I still drank it. I'm weird.
And I said, this is bitter, bitch. Spit it out.
Yeah, and then Matthew Lillard and Butcher and the Blade, they show up, and
no, they don't show up, dude. They beat
just
the
they beat his signal. They hack the planet, something that our band of elite hackers did not do, and made fun of the two for not being as elite, or at least Dade did. And then so he reveals the whole plan, and that's all it takes.
Well, Serial Killer explains the movie.
He explains the movie. The movie's over, and he's like, I'll explain what happened. I'll explain what you just saw, viewer. And
as a viewer, you're kind of like, what? What? Yeah. All of a sudden, just like, they can do any law, and they just
I was just
like, they just walk out of it.
Yeah, I was like, you guys still hacked. I mean, but like, yeah, they're just like, the charges are just dropped, and they're like, let's go arrest that guy.
Because some dirty kid on TV said something happened, and they just let them walk out. And if you watch the other characters in the background, they just kind of look around like, is this the scene or?
Yeah, because they're in a room. They're like, they can't hear the TV, but they're excited. And then their motion come around to the other side.
Well, they're happy because Serial's on TV, so they know he's done good.
He's a free man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so then we go to Eugene and the PR lady, and he bails somehow out of bed without her noticing.
Dude, okay.
She's so infatuated with
they're celebrating, right? They're having their
they had their bubbly, they had their sex.
And then, like, she's laying there just kind of letting her tuna cool and shit. She's just chilling. And
incidentally, they did stop the Da Vinci virus while getting the worm thing. So they actually have done a good deed, too, apparently.
Yeah, because the Da Vinci virus was,
I guess, important because no one seems to ever care about the Da Vinci.
Because wasn't the Da Vinci was kind of like a Trojan, right? To kind of get the worm into the program, and he hid it inside.
No, the worm was already there. They're completely separate.
Well, the Da Vinci was the red herring then, right?
Yeah, no, he said he created the Da Vinci. He even says it. He says, I created the Da Vinci so that I could get the Secret Service to raid this kid's computer and find out what he has on the worm, basically.
Yeah, kind of like a red herring. They want you to think that that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
Or he created the law or whatever.
He was like, I legit created it, but, you know, he was like, I don't need a code or anything. I can stop it or whenever I want. I'm just not going to because I need what these kids have. I need them not to be able to incriminate me. So, and he's using the Secret Service because he can't just go do it himself.
Yeah, and to keep the heat off of him. So
exactly. Yeah,
he wants to blame the children.
Yeah. So it's all been revealed.
So so this is the serial's saying this all on TV, and they just had their ceremonial fuck, and she's laying there, like I said, let it air, and she's watching it, and she's like, "Oh my fucking god." Like, this motherfucker, we're done. And she might as well have been Commissioner Gordon because she turned over. That motherfucker was Batman. He was gone. He was gone.
So gone. Yeah, he was very gone.
That made me laugh because I was like, dude, that's what Batman would do. He would hit it and bounce. And he would never even know.
And then we see her arrested, and it's the same exact like sequence, the same jail, just with women now.
Yeah,
when Freak was arrested, and the women are grabbing her, and she's like, "Get off!" I was just like,
"Yeah,
that was a real get off." Like, I don't like this scene. I don't feel comfortable doing it.
All the jail scenes where they do that, it's almost like they take them to a zombie farm because everyone's just like grabbing for him and shit.
Like, it's very, again, rapey. You're just like, oh.
I thought it was just stupid. It
is like, stupid, but it's the implication is that they're like, yeah, you're mine type of thing. So.
It's that whole traditional movie thing of your character's fresh meat now for these hard lifers.
For these hard lifers that are all conveniently close to where you're being brought into.
And they're all different ages. Wasn't there like an old granny in there?
Yeah, there was an old granny that was just like, "You're fucking mine." She's like, "Get off of me, you fucking nasty cunt." And she's like, "Oh Jesus!" This movie just shot up to an R, like instant.
Hard R again.
Hard R.
I would have
director's cut, hard R edition.
I'm gonna gum those nipples off. Hard R.
She's like, "Fucking try, Granny. I'll fucking hit you with my tit." She's like, "Oh, I like the challenge." It's just like 5 minutes of them going back and forth. They're like, "What's wrong with this movie?" And then they find
it's just fucking Ricky Ho and now the person.
Oh, that'd be fucking great.
Blow each other's heads off in one punch.
Yeah, fucking spike sandals through the head. And shit.
Ricky Ho, man, great movie. Or The Story of Ricky, whichever one you may see first. Both acceptable.
And then Eugene is disguised as an old man, not very convincingly, on a first class flight, and he gets arrested by Agent Gill because apparently, and they're taking off. They're going to Tokyo.
This flight is going to Japan, and it looks like it's been in the air for a while. It's over water. Yeah. I assume they were in New York, so it's probably been flying a little bit. I assume he left from New York, did go to like another state because if they're looking for him, should they have like watch the airports and shit, typical bad guy stuff.
Why did they let him?
They let him board and take
train
off
or the plane, and then also let it take off before.
But then Gil and his SWAT team cronies are there on top of him as it's been over. And I was like, "Is this?"
They know not ready to fucking play.
Is this the comedy part where these guys just show up?
Yeah, they just show up, and that's the best part. He's like, "It's going to be a long flight back," and I was like, "Shouldn't you have stopped?" All these people are really pissed. They were going to Japan, and now they're not.
You know what, guys? Just go to Japan and let's have Hackers 3 in Japan. Yeah. Let's skip 2.
Skip 2, go straight to 3.
Go straight to 3.
Tokyo Drift. Hackers Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, dude.
And then in the last bit of misogynistic datism, They're on the date. She's wearing a dress. He's wearing kind of a dress. I don't know what it is. But they're like,
it's formal hacker gear.
He's doing like flinching shit towards her. Like, I'm gonna fucking hit.
That's what I was like. I was like, still gonna fight. Just fight.
I didn't understand. Like, as a kid, I didn't understand it. I watched it again. I still didn't understand it. I fucking hate it. And they're just like,
that's what made me think of it. He likes the girl and he wants to punch her.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just so weird. And then he's just like, you want to go swimming? Because of course they got to go back to it. They have to be on a rooftop swimming pool, Kevin. They have to be.
I couldn't give that started. No, dude, I couldn't give that a middle finger hard enough.
It was stupid. And so they talk and they don't really say anything of substance. It's like the worst dialogue ever. And then he hacks a building to say crash and burn because they made some weird couple thing about them earlier. And they're struggling. Like, Johnny Lee Miller's struggling to tread water in this thing that he's wearing. And Angelina Jolie is just like, hey, check out my coochie cooch. I'm wearing garters. This is sexy. I don't know. Dude, and then they fuck in a swimming pool. Eventually they put him on some apple boxes so they could see this fucking shit that he hacked. And he's like, beat that. I was like, oh, you just make lights turn on, asshole. Like, doesn't seem like a very big hack at all. And that's your big beat hack. And then they're like, beat me. And then they make out. And they're underwater for a long time.
It's the most anime thing I've never seen.
Yeah. And then it pans out and it goes back to that city shot of circuit boards and the pool. And the pool is has poor dimensions. It doesn't match the dimensions of the roof that they're on. And
and
then they ruined the shot that I said I loved in the beginning. So,
yeah, they literally were just like, no one cares. We're done.
Yeah. And then you hear the same song again. They're just like, we're gonna bookend it with the same song.
Yeah, it's just an hour 45 minutes of just insults.
Yeah, it really is. I look at our runtime and I'm just like, Jesus, how did we go so long about this movie?
Everybody's like, we don't know. We stopped listening.
We don't know. I listened to this in like 4 chunks now, and I hope that I don't cry.
Dude,
the nostalgia is high for me, Kevin. I watched it. I liked it. Like, yes, this movie is the movie that made me want to like know how to use computers and shit like that. And yeah, I thought Zero Cool is like the coolest handle ever. And, mess with the best, die like the rest was just like,
real stupid.
Fucking write that on anything I can.
Yeah, dude.
So, yeah, you're real lame. I get it.
Some cheat graffiti if I ever saw it.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So,
no, it's like,
is it a good movie looking back? No, there's so many problems. I mean, just that one scene where they show you what happens before it happens, where I was just like, Jesus Christ, how are you arresting Joey before you can arrest Joey? Like, what are you doing, editor? He's like, no one will notice. No one.
He's like, I'm back
except for this guy that totally sees the only set of stairs that looks like this twice in the movie.
Except for the only guy that's watched this movie more than once.
Yeah,
what's that guy?
Even the director, he's like, I've only seen it once, to be honest.
He's like, I didn't know it was still around.
I mean, I moved on to K-Pax, and I just never looked back.
Dude, the box office, it did 7.5 million domestically, and it cost 20 million. So yeah, it kind of, MGM was like, man, fuck.
This is the movie that made us not a real studio anymore.
MGM was like, you know what? We got to get out of this movie shit. It ain't working out.
I mean, it does have a cult classicness to it, so it made its money back.
It has a cult. This movie does have a cult following. I was doing some reading on it. There's screeners and stuff like that where they'll get together. Everyone's yelling, "Fucking hack the planet" and shit. And
I yell it routinely at you, Kevin. Now
car.
You know why, but before you didn't.
I mean, like the fictional computer, a mainframe Gibson. That's an homage to William Gibson, the original term. He termed the fucking cyberspace and Burning Chrome, that book, and Neuromancer. Like, there's a bunch of nods. Like whoever, like the Raphael Monroe guy. I'm probably saying that.
That's the weird thing is there's a lot of like fine, like nerdy Easter egg details,
right?
But then, like he is really misogynistic. You're just like, how did you fucking
like
this up so much? Like, we want to be inclusive and hackers and like against the system, but then also like women can't hack, and you're just like, what the fuck? This is problematic for
well, it just makes for just unlikable characters, right? And that's kind of the thing I don't like about the movie really at all, is just the characters. There's so much time wasted. Like, I should have just been really introduced to everybody. We should have bonded. I should have had like my favorites, and like they should have had their camaraderie built in there. And there should have been moments that brought them tighter together as a group. And then that has to be tested, like give me like a little pseudo cyberpunk Goonies type of thing or something, where I'm just kind of like, man, they all got to work together to defeat this evil or to get their friend out of jail.
They spend so much time on the bad guy, and then like Freak just like completely disappears from the movie.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, that guy, huh? Nah, he's living it up in prison, I guess. Like,
and that's the thing. They should have capitalized on some of, like, Freak could have. There's so
why
many,
did
like,
he get parole? Like,
there's no character moments, you know what I mean? And I think that's what it sorely needs to bring everyone together, especially when the main guy, the dad, doesn't have anything to do.
No, he doesn't, and that's why I say it's strangely a very anime, like a bad anime storytelling of like, I'm so ultimate and supreme, but I bumblefuck through this whole world, and you're just like, what the fuck?
It's like,
stop being root for you.
Stop being a pussy and drive the mech already. Like, just
I can't. I'm thinking about my mom.
My dad decided the spec, but I'm a vagina. and everybody's just like, fuck, bro. And it's like, that's, you said, like, this scene where he hacks all day and all night, and they don't do like a big LAN party group hack or something.
Yeah.
Like
no one else is using this computer. The rest of them are on paper.
Yeah, like, and she has like the killer rig, right? So it can just like, it's fucking going so fast. It's like grease lightning and shit.
Show someone else hacking. Show them all. You have the rest of them bouncing around, goofing off in the background.
But it's what you said.
No one tags in. No one.
It's what you said, dude. That should have been Zero Cool's moment, because they reveal it. He's Zero Cool. He's going to have that moment back when he was 11, and he's going to fucking, David and Goliath this motherfucker. And he doesn't do it. And everyone just kind of, it's like a queef. He's just like, and you're like, that was it, dude? You're Zero Cool, and this is how you save the day? You suck. And even when you have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers part where they're all team hacking, you let the smoking gun, Joey or whatever, he's the ace. He's your ace.
That's his ace butthole. That's his fucking handle,
dude. And I'm just like, well, you don't even give it to Dad again. And I was like, why is Dad in this movie? Just to play counterpart to Angelina Jolie, because she comes out of this to be a megastar. And you're like, okay.
He's like, might I remind you, we dated, and I have achieved my own stardom.
Yeah,
in the Americas.
There's so many things. Like, that's the thing that makes me dislike this movie even more, is because the potential of really building something fun and just being really kind of oddball, just these geeky, like, Neo New York hacker kids running around, just fuck the establishment, fuck the police. We find this big corporate asshole's going to try to fucking do something to hurt the planet. It's not on our watch. We don't like guys like this. He's using hacking for evil. They don't do anything really like that.
Yeah, it was weird because, I mean, it is 90s, so recycling and environment were very big, and they kind of like start to touch on that with the tanker thing. And
that's
then
what
just,
I thought.
like,
Dude, I thought they were going crazy with that. And then they were just like, I don't know, man. Let's just ruin Gil's life.
Yeah, like it's there. It's like, it's weird because it's like there's so much weird filler, and then there's so much stuff that you're like, oh, you really could have done more with that. Like, you really kind of introduced that bigger than it was, and then did nothing with it. And you're just like, okay.
That's the whole movie. Everything gets introduced bigger than it really turns out to be. Like, from relationships to character growth, like the Nikon. Oh, he has a photodedic memory or whatever. Serial killer.
No, he says photographic memory.
Serial killer can put a bunch of books in a bag, and this guy smokes, and this guy knows what gamer tags are.
Serial killer basically looks like a bum.
Yeah, he just looks real creepy, and
quotes Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, dude.
His tagline is his parents missed Woodstock because they were giving birth to him, and he's basically been a hobo child ever since. So.
Cool.
Real fucking cool.
Great parents, yeah.
I hope
you should have been fucking so much, you dirty hippies.
Yeah, I hope you guys destroy the opposition. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it just sucks. It's just like you want it to do more. It has potential to do more. It can be like if they play it straight, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, all right, this movie's old as shit. And you look back on it, you're like, oh my god, why is that guy wearing midriff like cargo fucking Jankos? And like this is like an anime. Everyone's acting like an anime. They're just so out of place. But the rest of the world doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, and there was definitely a huge, weirdly like Japanese culture appropriation for Angelina Jolie's character several times throughout, and I was like, oh, okay. Huh. With like her makeup and shit, and just I think that characters as well. So
that kind of felt more like underground cyberpunky, like club kid trancy to me. Like I don't know, like I didn't really. I can give it to whatever perception, right? So I didn't get that kind of. I just felt like it was movie narrative wise, structure wise, like kind of just construction of it's terrible. Like from just the way it looks and the goofs, and I don't personally like it, but I do see that there's something there that could have been super awesome. I see it if I was younger and I saw this, there's a lot of captivating, unknown, like fantastic things that they present that would just be like, man, this is a blast. This is fun. I'm really just kind of letting everything else slide because what the fuck? This is cool. So I totally see that. Like, but I just wish it sucks even more because it's like, dude, you guys could have approached this with a little bit kind of, I don't know. I don't know how they could have approached it, but I just kind of know what I would have done with it. And what I would have done probably would have failed miserably too. You know what I mean? Like
they would have like all movies about hacking. So.
Exactly. They would have gave me 20 minutes, but or 20 million for fucking an hour and 45. I would have been like, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're totally going to be self-aware, but everyone's going to play it straight. And then go for it.
Spend that money on?
Probably location, dude. Location, fucking advertising.
I guess it was not advertised. Well, I mean, the shitty poster they used was everywhere. They put a lot into that, but it got destroyed. So, but you know, that's how it usually goes, man. Everyone looks back and fond memories, and it just kind of gets a free pass, and you create a cult classic out of it. Because it's so awkward, cult classic. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just everything's weird about it, and you look back, you're like, what the fuck is this? I guess it's like toned down cyber. It's like entry level cyberpunk.
Yeah, and I think that's what I really wish they would have pushed that more, and I really wish they would have pushed the kind of characters more because there's something with them. There's something there with all of them, and I just felt like it got dropped, much like the whole Dode thing or Dad or whatever his name is. Yeah, and I think that set him apart from everybody else. But it's just like, do more, dude. Just commit, and like if you would have gave me these characters that are at least fleshed out and they weren't that good, hey man, fuck it. You know, you tried, you wanted him to project this and do that, and I got to root for him. I didn't like that kid, I like that kid. You know what I mean? Then cool. But you didn't even give me that, so they're just kind of almost interchangeable, except for how goofy or weird they look, and that's the way you chose to separate them. I don't know.
Well, I recommend it, even if you haven't seen it. For all the reasons that we just covered, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if a morbid curiosity, I figure if you haven't seen it, like most of the things you haven't seen it now, you're not
going to enjoy it. Like I knew Kevin wouldn't be like, yeah, this was a great movie. You know, this was no Clueless, but it's just one of those, like, if you saw it when it came out, you understand why you liked it then. But now, like if you haven't watched it with subtitles, because they exist now, watch it with subtitles. It'll change your world. You'll be like, that's what they fucking said. Man, VHS. The ADR in this movie's horrible.
Yeah, man, there's a boy meets world joke in there.
Yeah, that was a pretty good joke, too. Yeah, Freak had good comebacks.
You're a Freak fan, man.
I am. I am a Freak fan. I really am. He shined brightly. I was like, that's why they took him out of the second half. He was stealing the fucking movie.
I don't know if anyone was stealing the movie in this one. The movie wouldn't let him.
Well, you could steal this movie online or pay for it on HBO.
It's probably on the YouTube with some ads, I guess.
Probably. I mean, sure. I'm pretty sure you could watch this somewhere.
Don't get me wrong.
Not really a studio anymore.
Like I said, terrible movie. I would love to do a sequel or another version of it, a Hackers 2.0, if you will.
Oh, I'd like to hack the future.
I would hack the like. There's so like I'm not talking about the baloney
hack shit from earlier.
No, I want to do that one too.
That's
1.5. Hackers 1.5.
Yeah,
he's still in high school. We just
that's
do
Hackers 1.5. The chosen
balding Johnny Lee Miller shows up. He's just like, I'm still 18. Just like, are you though? He's like, and I have a problem with women. Okay, I believe it now.
Now I recognize you. But no, yeah, I would love to do that. I could tell us a million stories in this little world and just kind of really go real Blade Runner with them and just real fucking real character pieces, you know.
Have the Plague's mentor show up. I don't know.
Dude, I'd have stuff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pitch it because I kind of like that instantly when I said it. So I'm like,
dude, I'd have the girlfriend. She goes into the underground. She's like, she just shows up with briefcases.
Dumb one that doesn't know.
Dude, hear me out.
Okay, all right.
She just shows up. She just walks into this dirty warehouse that she finds off the grid, and she's wearing like this clear jacket with some sort of like sequin dress underneath. She's got 2 briefcases like handcuffed to her wrist. She just walks in there, and she's
still 80 yards.
Yeah, no. She has a thing around her neck. She just talks digitally and shit. So she's like futuristic, and all these hackers are just like, pull guns on her and shit. And they're like, she's like,
they have guns or hack?
They're hacking, bro. They're illegal hacking.
You got my fucking keyboard gun?
Yeah, and she's like,
it's a piano too.
I'm in use of your services. I don't understand what you do, nor do I care, but I do know you are a tool, and a tool that I will purchase. She throws the handcuff, comes off of it, goes into the suitcase. She throws it. All this fucking hacker Bitcoin money future shit comes out, and then she's like, all you have to do is my bidding. And then she throws the other suitcase, and it turns into like a fucking Ravage dog from fucking Transformers. And they go to.
You lost me when you said it throws out Bitcoin.
Yeah, man, it's like
you brought me back when you said Ravage.
Yeah, just to show that it's a glowing suitcase with just tons of hacker love. And then she was like, because you guys are tools and nothing more. And then they're just like, looks like you just bought yourself some hackers. Said they pull on some cool sunglasses.
You bought yourself an army of hacks.
Yeah, and then it fucking pans out. You just see a bunch of nerds just hacking, and they're all cool with mohawks and shit. They're real fucking
guys playing Fortnite. They're like, come on, Phil. Like, seriously, this is why you're not elite, dude.
Nah, man,
like,
they're playing
hiring us, and you're fucking playing games. Like, stand up, asshole. We're all doing it. It's a group thing.
It's all these they're doing the finger fillet thing like an aliens. These guys, these are hackers. These are just these.
Wait, I'm sorry, the finger fillet thing?
Yeah, where you put your hand down and you do the knife. That's what it's called.
Oh. Yeah, I was thinking finger fellatio.
What the fuck? And scene. Like, thanks, everybody.
The vehicle, and I was like, that's weird and rude.
It's just the guy that wants a finger fillet, just everyone he meets. Hey, you haven't washed your hands? Come here. I got something for you.
They're like, I gotta wash them now.
What a sequel.
Yeah, that's...
I liked it when you got real futuristic, but then your dude got weird. You guys can leave my office now.
That has been way too long of a discussion about hackers. Thank you for listening to Us Versus Movies. As always, you can find us on the Instagram and the Twitter and the YouTube, all as Us Versus Movies. We thank you for subscribing. Leave a comment if you feel like it. We understand if you don't. And then thank you for listening. Just share this with a friend, and we'll be back next week. Kevin, take us away.
Hack the planet!